This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, Listener Request Month returns with, oh my God, they're shooting someone on the football field. It's the last Boy Scout. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak, snappy piece of fucking shit.
Eric Siska's a good guy on a podcast.
Jimmy Dix, you see, it's 2 words for penis.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, that's right. We are back at it with Listener Request Month. We're talking about Tony Scott's The Last Boy Scout from 1991. This was requested by Scott from Kansas. Let's see what he had to say.
Hi, this is Scott in Overland Park, Kansas. I'm requesting that you guys do The Last Boy Scout from 1991. It's a Tony Scott movie with a Shane Black script, and you'd think you know how crazy it's going to be just from that description, but you don't. Thanks, guys.
Thank
There
you,
you go.
Scott.
Thank you,
Scott.
That sounds like a transmission from like the ship that got lost in Event Horizon and they found it and they're just like, what? What does it mean?
If this is our last transmission, please cover The Last Boy Scout.
Is that an evil Sam Neill I hear in the back?
I mean, I feel because I listen to all these things. I think a lot of people, it's like, I don't want my partner knowing I'm calling into the. So it's just like, they're asleep. Okay, everybody. What I love this show, but I don't want anyone to know it.
See, that's a problem. I want you to be loud and proud in sort of something like, Friday night's a good night for football.
I would like you to cover The Last Boy Scout for Listener Request Month.
Friday night's a good night to shoot yourself in the head.
They should have used this fake Are You Ready for Some Football tune that is in this movie. What a spectacular way to start this movie. This dude's singing. It's the whole thing just with this guy from
One of the Righteous Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Medley.
I thought just with the haircut and the sunglasses, I would have put money on the fact that this was D.
D.
Snyder.
Snyder. It's right to D grade D. Snyder.
D.D. Snyder.
But actually, he's a much better musician than D. Snyder.
Can I just say, this is one of those movies where like the opening scene is just like out in the pop culture sphere. I had never seen this until last night.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I never got around to it.
Feel like I'm the same way, although there's a real chance that like I got stoned, played GoldenEye, and watched this movie in like 1998. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's entirely possible, but I'm almost positive I never saw this whole thing because I misunderstood that first scene. I always assumed it was like a Naked Gun kind of a thing. Where he's
It is
got,
funny.
Like, no, in terms of
Very
like
funny.
Yeah.
the plot of Naked Gun, where it's like, oh, you are robotically programmed to kill someone.
got it.
Or not
The
like a
CIA.
Nordberg thing where he's accidentally killing people.
I mean, the funny thing about this movie is I think my love for Damon Wayans brought me to this. When I was younger, I was a huge Damon Wayans fan. And there's so many strains of this movie that just show up in other movies down the line. We're talking about the Bruce Willis, Damon Wayans credits. It's like the Jack Slater credits from Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
There's 2 lines in this movie that come up in Die Hard with a Vengeance and Hudson Hawk. Which is why, like, I do actually think Bruce Willis was like creating his own like the Bruce Willis universe, the BWU.
It does feel sort of like a proto Last Action Hero, like it's self-referential to such a point.
Yeah, it honestly feels like whatever the movie at the end of the player was supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, totally. I also realized, too, I mix this movie up constantly with Bulletproof.
Really?
Not the Gary Busey movie.
No. Because it's also Damon
Sandler and
Wayans.
Wayans.
And
Yes.
Damon Wayans. Yeah.
Whew, man,
Also,
this
I
movie.
just wanted to say, a fucking Tony Scott, by the way, R.I.P.D., he'll be off this coil 10 years this year, but What a fucking run. So this was right before Days of Thunder. So then it's this, True Romance, Crimson Tide, The Fan, Enemy of the State, Spy Game, Man on Fire. Like, how you feel about those movies, whatever, but those are like big ass, like people were seeing those movies.
And then after that, he did Unstoppable, and then he stopped himself.
The Deja Vu,
Deja
was in there.
Vu, which is like
Enemy of
Denzel
the State.
Washington and
Deja Vu is one of the
travel.
worst.
Was Domino
I
him?
disagree with you on that.
okay.
Oh, Domino
Yeah.
is after Man on Fire.
But written by Richard Kelly of Donnie Darko fame.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
He wrote
he was
Domino?
supposed to direct it for a while, but then he just got the writing.
That
credit.
would, I mean, I didn't see it, but that doesn't seem like a movie he should be directing.
He is in movie The Witness Relocation
Yeah.
Program.
It's some
Nobody
real
knows-
deal fucking
Yeah.
crimes against humanity kind of movie jail.
Did they hate the box that much? Like, what
It's
the
a good
fuck?
movie.
For what?
It's
For
a
what?
totally good movie.
Yeah, what the
Sorry.
hell?
Yeah, I like the box.
It's a really good movie.
Ooh, so this movie, by the way, I think I mentioned it at the cliffhanger for Delta Farce, that this movie, you know, some movies,
Yeah.
how they treat women, is
Yeah.
they're either whores or virgins.
Mhm.
And in this one, they're all whores, including the protagonist's 13-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Dude, it's kind of weird because if you believe the Tribune trivia,
Yeah.
Shane Black wrote this like after a really bad breakup, and you can just feel it, man. This fucking that fucking bitch Lori,
Yeah.
I'll fucking show her.
Is there any, there's no
He
redeeming.
definitely found and replaced Lori before he submitted his
Yep.
draft. It's
Yep,
like, Let me
exactly.
do it one more time. Oh,
Yep.
wait, there's a Lori. There's a Lori.
All right, I'll turn this Lori into Corey and this one into.
There's one step away from pure woman hate in this, though, because like usually because his wife is cheating on him in this, usually she would be fucking dead, or like
It's kind
completely,
of surprising she makes it to the end credits.
or like just like completely vilified, and the fact that they have this weird like they like he's like, yeah, I still love her.
You know what
yeah,
he should do? He should use her as a human shield. At
That
some
would
point.
be really fun.
Oh, I just got to grab this object real quick.
Well, apparently the last act of this movie was totally rewritten because there was a lot of wife stuff. And Bruce Willis is like, I just did the I Saved My Wife movie, which is called Die Hard.
Yeah.
So we need to switch this up in some way. So they came up with whatever this stuff is.
which is like a huge whatever.
Yes.
I guess. By the way, cheating on Bruce Willis with fucking Bruce McGill.
Oh,
I don't
dude,
know,
cushion,
dude.
He's looking
cushion
pretty
and
good.
pushing.
Dude, Bruce McGill, I would say, oh, he's probably like a stout rodent in bed, like a real like rah.
He's a generous lover. Bruce Willis
Yeah.
is wham bam, thank you, whoever you
You're
happen
totally
to be.
right.
And also, like, in terms of like who I want to hang out with, like Pillow Talk.
Bruce
Yeah.
McGill.
Get some Animal House stories out of Bruce
Uh-huh.
McGill.
Absolutely. It's like
Mhm.
you just got fucked by Bruce McGill,
Uh-huh.
right? Then you're going to go in the kitchen, light up some cigarettes, tell the old stories. You're eating chicken wings out of the fridge.
Just tell me how many times Michael Mann said you're not a good enough actor. how many times was he an asshole to you? I just need to hear it.
So this opening is outrageous, and it's like you again, like this is the one that gets clipped the most. It's like 'cause it's so wild and crazy, but it's got nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
That's
I mean,
what's
it
astounding.
does. I mean, but
It does and it
it's a
doesn't.
wild way to do it either way.
But listen, man. In a movie where the opening is a fucking football player is running down the field and has been told by a mysterious voice on the phone that he's got to start scoring points and blah blah blah, and you don't really know what's going on, and then this dude produces a firearm
Yes.
from his football pants
Yeah.
and starts
Yes.
shooting the opposing team players. Listen, that is what the movie's about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to tell you.
But I mean, like, I think they're prepping you for how outrageous this entire fucking thing is by being like, literally, the credits to the movie are in the football song,
Yes.
like, great for football. They're like, it literally, it's just like, this is a game. We're having fun.
It totally prepares you for how crazy it is. I'm not arguing that, but it's just wild to me that it's barely mentioned after this.
Yeah,
Like,
you know, if that happened in real life, the president would give a
Oh, for
speech.
sure.
I mean, also,
Yeah.
by the way, the season is canceled. We're not
Yes,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
finale being at another football
But-
game. It better be set in 2022.
at the same stadium,
Yeah.
dude. No way. The Coliseum is closed for the rest of the calendar
And
year.
I guess we're led to believe this occurs because this is what would happen if you gamble on major sporting events.
He seems
like
to
a
be
Pete
up to
Rose.
his, like, because Milo, the villain of the movie, is on the phone with Billy. What's the guy?
Billy Blanks.
Billy
of
Blanks.
Tybo's Billy Blanks.
Oh yeah.
Who's
He's
playing Billy Cole
Cole, I
or something?
think.
Cole,
Yeah.
Billy, yeah.
Mhm.
So he gets a call from Tyler Negro.
Taylor Negron.
Taylor Negron.
Rest in peace. Another one gone.
He's
soon.
fantastic in this.
He's fucking great.
He's not in it enough. He comes in like very late as like a heavy under what's his name? Tommy Macaroni. What's the
Marcone.
There you go.
Sally Marcone.
Yeah.
But you're right.
No, I mean, so he gets a call from Milo, and he's like, "Now, Billy, we need you to get this one. You need to make this touchdown right now,
Yeah,
Billy.
Better start scoring some points.
Well, that's the thing, and because and Wikipedia does this all the time. They lie in the. Because I always like to read the plot summary on my way up here because it's like it's always very prosaic and like it gets into stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, if it's a bit a day, I'm like, I want to remember that.
Prosaic.
I know. And
Is that a pill you take to feel happy? Or?
And this one, but sometimes they do this where they like infer stuff or just flat out make shit up, and I'll read it. During halftime at a televised football game, LA Stallions running back Billy Cole receives a phone call from a mysterious man named Milo, who warns him to win the game or he will be assassinated. That does not happen.
No,
because it's just like he's in trouble with the mob or whatever, but like you don't know that like it's a different animal altogether.
Assassinated means like it's gonna happen on the field during the game or whatever.
You have to do this because what he does is totally, and also like they're only down by 7 at the half. Like I don't know, man. Put together some drives.
What about legacy? What about your family? Get assassinated. You know what I mean? Like, why are you shooting people and shooting yourself in the head? I mean, it looks cool as hell. Don't get me wrong.
Well, that's the thing. We should see just like Milo's eye on a scope. One shot of that.
Yes.
That's all you really need.
You're totally right.
Yeah, if you're down like whatever, even $100,000 to the mafia, it's like, all right, they're gonna fucking kill me. What are they gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like murder other players and then myself.
I just don't get it. Like he takes out 3 other fucking defensemen in the backfield. Like I don't get
for
it.
7 points. Like you could, I don't know, man. Fucking score some.
It's not like it's a total blowout. And I guess maybe the other thing too is like we don't know the stakes of like what are the gambling stakes? Like what's the spread that needs to be covered?
Yeah.
So maybe it's not so much a win the game, but like you got to get to a certain number.
This shows you what can happen if you start playing football on Fridays. It's a little too rambunctious. Someone might pull a gun.
Friday night, it was a good night for football. Never again. I mean,
Well, this was just a huge mistake. That's clearly why he did it.
It would be awesome if in the opening they had a thing because it's fucking what's his face? Vern Lundquist and Dick Vitale doing the opening thing.
Dick Butkus.
Dick Butkus, excuse me. And it's like, it would have been awesome if Dick Butkus is just like, yes, and for the inaugural first Friday night football game. Now you're getting football on Friday and Sunday. The college football's right on the Saturday there. What could go wrong?
I kind of want Dick Butkus to like keep commentating throughout the melee and just be like, oh, there is just no place for guns in football. That's going to cost them the game. They are going to now there's a flag on the play.
Now that looks like a shoulder hit there, Vern. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that person's dead. I think they're just injured.
Wait a second. Dick butt kiss? What is this? My search history?
Now let me just put the yellow circle right here on. Now this defenseman's going to get in the way, see, but no, he's going to get shot right in the face.
He's coming at him. He gets down in the stands, ready to stop the run, and then bam, he's shot literally right in the eyeball.
Now, Vern, that is a Walter PPK that he is carrying there. Very nice kind of gun, mid-range price, not too fancy.
Is this movie trying to comment on like the violent nature of football in general? Because later on we get the football saving the senator's life.
Oh yeah.
It's also got a lot to do with like football these days. We're talking about free agency a lot. We're talking about like, all these
ruin the game.
Exactly. Like ruining the game. And I guess like gambling seemed like the logical next step, which is actually accurate because that's happening right now.
Somebody
this week just got suspended for a year for gambling on football.
Oh, I saw. Yeah. Who was that?
Calvin Ridley of the Atlanta Falcons.
Got it. Yeah. I just saw you can't be gambling on sports athletes.
Chelcie had the vision though. It came to pass.
Yeah. Well, you get like your friend to gamble for you, right?
That's
send
how that
him
works.
the money,
What,
right?
what were Shelley Marcone's last words? DraftKings?
That guy, it's great because he plays the Jerry Jones-esque owner of the Stallions.
Yeah.
He's also, anybody else know what other football related film he's from? Yeah.
Find the fish or find new job.
Yeah. Exactly what I wanted to hear tonight.
Right?
Yes.
I hadn't recognized him. Chris made me hip to that before we went on the air.
Shit, Roger, you've been around for a long time.
So yeah, Billy Cole kills all these people and then
Ain't life a bitch.
Yep, takes a knee, ain't life a bitch, and blows his brains out. And at that point, I was just like, okay, I know exactly what this movie's going to be.
I mean, you do and you like. That's the beauty of the movies. You do and you don't. Like, it's kind of a bait and switch, but also you're like, oh, I'm in. Whatever the fuck else is happening, I'm ready for it.
This movie also feels like the end of detective. There should be the end of the private investigator as a character. It just seems
it's weird because Bruce Willis, as this private investigator, it doesn't feel like a private investigator at all. No. It feels like Bruce Willis, John McClane cop shit. He's not like a grizzled hard apple kind of,
It's taking the private investigator character to the Cobra limit. Go as extreme violence and fucking misogyny as you can in like a kind of noirish setting.
Not enough PI stuff, honestly. We do see his office briefly, and it's kind of weird that he just rents some house in LA for his office and drives home to his house in LA.
I need a secretary. I'm sorry. This is a private investigator.
And then the money is like, $500. I guess he's supposed to be like a scumbag down on his luck kind of private investigator.
Right.
$500. I understand that it was more money back then. I don't get out of bed for $500.
Cigarettes, booze, and hot dogs are all this man needs, it would seem like.
But apparently he's got, it looks like he's the sole breadwinner. You don't know what Sarah, his wife, does.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. And they got this house. They got the kid.
Maybe, what would we call him? Timmy Carter gave him this house.
This other guy.
For his good service
we should
of
mention
saving his
that,
life.
I guess because that's the title, The Last Boy Scout, I guess is because he was Secret Service at some point.
Secret Service.
And he threw himself in front of the bullets of an assassination attempt on a fake Jimmy Carter lookalike or something.
A sentient wax figure from Madame Tussauds of Jimmy Carter.
It is seriously like the fucking Disney World Hall of Presidents shit. It is just an animatronic, big horse face looking thing, and Bruce Willis is diving in front of it.
It's very clearly made by somebody who hates Jimmy Carter.
It's just the fourth presidential assassination attempt in Jodie Foster's name. It just keeps. Somebody's got to put that girl down.
There had to be an actor playing that guy, right? It's not like a fucking real doll or something.
I don't know who it was.
Oh boy, I'm getting fucked.
You can have me for $2,000.
Usually peanuts come out of my ass, not go in them.
You can hire my other brother. He's an actor.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, yeah, that's right. If there was a Jimmy Carter real doll, the manufacturer would keep getting them back. Like, they keep getting peanuts up the asshole, and we got to take them out.
Like, you just got to make the anus bigger. That's all.
They keep on. No, I can't have sex with it. It keeps on trying to build a house. Every time I try to have sex with it, it just starts building a fucking house.
Has Bruce? Here was a question. Speaking as Die Hard came up. We meet him. He is clearly hungover.
Yes.
He's sleeping in his car. These kids are fucking with him, throwing a dead squirrel on him to see what happens. Is he more hungover in this movie or Die Hard 3?
I think Die Hard 3 because it lasts longer and we're with him and the whole movie's looking for his aspirin.
Right.
Like,
all right. And from the internet ticker, Ed Bay. How do you pronounce that, Chris?
Beller.
Ed Beheller played the president in this. He also played Jimmy Carter in Hot Shots Part 2. He played Jimmy Carter in The Lonely Guy, the Steve Martin movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this guy had quite a career playing Jimmy Carter. Something called the Cayman Triangle. He also played Jimmy Carter, and something called that I'm going to look up later. Maybe my search history will reflect this: Sextet.
Ooh,
and
Jimmy Carter.
You wouldn't have believed it. My brother, they got him to play Billy Carter in a bunch of movies too, but he was just always a drunkard.
And one episode of the Bob Hope Show as Jimmy Carter.
Hey,
wow.
Ed, my back's killing me. You gotta build this house for me, buddy.
Now,
just have my buddy Ed go in there.
Now, Ed, why don't you go out to the patio with my wife for a little bit? I gotta take a snooze here. Wave at the press for me, would you?
Oh yeah, just take Rosalind out there. Say hi, Rosalind.
I was talking to Ivan Reitman. He wrote the movie Dave about me and Ed.
So whatever. Bruce McGill gives him a call, and he's like, "Hey, I got a job for you." Like we said, $500.
$500.
Dollars.
I get to protect this stripper for $500.
Dollars. Now, what we're referring to is a regional, I think, probably commercial in the New York area that I think has since stopped running, that no one knows what we're referencing. But was I got these 3 suitcases for under $20.
It's one of those websites where and Kevin Smith was shilling for a similar thing in the early days. He hasn't done it for years, but it's one of those you could get an iPad for $50. And I'm like, that's how you get a virus on your computer.
It's like a bit, it's like less reputable than eBay. Some weird bidding site.
Just give us your social security number on a folded index card and we'll give you an iPad for $50.
Oh, you didn't see that little asterisk that says it's triple refurbished iPads? Sorry.
I got this lookalike named Ed Beheller for $41.
He rolls around.
So while Bruce Willis is sort of debating whether or not he's going to take that, we meet Damon Wayans as Jimmy Dix. He is an ex-QB of this fake Los Angeles football team.
Because the NFL wanted nothing to do with this shit, dude.
I bet, dude. Yes. I fucking bet.
It's amazing.
You know what's funny, though? I just think of the... it's obviously worse now, but the rah-rah America shit that you see in the NFL now.
Yeah, sure.
I was under the false impression that was strictly a post 9/11 thing. But in that opening video, Friday Night's a Good Night for Football. I mean, the fucking American flag is all over that thing. We run the fucking flag on the field, the whole nine.
Well, I think that's part of the satire too. Obviously we're making fun of how rah-rah that shit was.
Yeah, it's
I guess it's just funny because it's not a satire anymore. That's just literally
that's actually true.
Whenever
what
there's
it looks like.
Whenever there's this scent of war, I mean, they were doing that shit during Desert Storm, even
Yeah, I guess that's true. So he's kind of it's the aftermath of some wild party. And did I see this right? That's Tony Longo, raping this woman in a hot tub, which is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's he's fucking putting her head underwater, and he's she can't come up till she starts to suck it. And I was like, this isn't what I signed
in
up
so
for.
many ways, it's too early for this.
Yes.
Not only is it the morning in the movie, it's just dude, I'm just getting over a guy blowing his head off and shooting several of his colleagues
I remember
on the fucking football field.
My parents rented this when I was a kid. It was a big TV event for us as a family.
Oh, wow.
And of course, the opening scene, I was like, all right. And then this one, I was like, this is weird. What does he want her down there for?
It's also just strange to have this is how you show off how good Damon Wayans is at football, is he tosses a football and nearly cracks Tony Longo's nose.
Oh yeah, it's fucking great.
And in his, it's always funny when Damon Wayans gets really upset. His voice gets higher.
Yeah,
it's best arm in the league, motherfucker.
Yeah,
it's kind of always amazing.
It's so when he screams, it kind of turns into Homie the Clown.
It does, yes.
He fucked my life. I like Damon Wayans a lot, and I think he's really good in this movie. But Tony Scott's asking a little too much of him.
Yeah. Sure. Well, apparently everybody hated each other on the set. It was a 4-way brawl. Willis and Wayans despised each other, but then Tony Scott and Joel Silver were getting into it all the time. And then oh my God, that's Shane Black's music. He's drunk too. Oh my God. And as we all know, Shane Black is recently divorced. My God, he's angry. Because everybody was just going nuts. And apparently the character, what's his face's character from True Romance? Oh, the guy's gonna kill me. The guy who's on Frasier for a while, and he plays a producer in True Romance. He's doing all the coke. Is based on
right.
Is based on Joel Silver.
Yes.
Saul Rubinek?
Saul Rubinek?
Saul Rubinek who's in True Romance. Apparently, is totally based off Joel Silver.
That's pretty great.
I mean, the producer character in this is also not treated exactly very well.
It's very true.
Is that Rick DeCummin? I think it is.
Maybe
Ron. Is it Rick?
Rick, I think
the pool guy.
It's
Rick DeCummin. Yeah. Which
great.
It's weird seeing him show up at the 11th hour in this movie. So Willis comes home from the sleeping in his car outside the office and
getting dead squirrels
McGill.
Thrown on him and shit.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's funny. A Moody River by Pat Boone bookends this movie.
Yeah,
and it is it's funny that the whole thing is he the whole point of the song is like it's a guy like my girlfriend cheated on me, so then she killed herself because out of shame, and that's kind of what Bruce Willis wants his wife to do.
It's fucked up here, man. Like he comes in and he's like, you can see him sort of sniffing around, doing some detective stuff, and he's like, "Who's the guy in the closet?" And she's like, "What?" And he's, "Come on, don't fuck with me. Who's the guy in the closet? Let's get this over with."
Yeah, the toilet seat's up.
Yeah.
He's a detective.
You're
World's
Andrew,
greatest detective.
You're just a little off because you're giving him too much energy. What's in the closet?
He's particularly tired in this movie, and it's too early in his career for being this tired.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I mean, I feel like it was probably just. I mean, like this is what, like 3 years after Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard's 88.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel he's just coasting at this point. Just like, fuck it, dude.
I guess the character's supposed to be like world weary. Like he's,
Also.
he's
Cynical as hell.
Been through it all, doesn't care anymore. And his wife's fucking someone.
Yeah,
and
now I'm making like 14 movies a year. I don't give a shit anymore.
He really doesn't care anymore now. My Lord. We should maybe we should save a slot this year.
And just do a Bruce Willis
one of them.
fake movie.
Yeah.
There's so many. I think I did the head count for 2021, and I think Bruce Willis was in some way or another affiliated with 9 different motion pictures.
It would be
That's
funny.
Trejo levels. That's pulling a Trejo.
Yeah.
It would be funny if he thought of it as like a moral thing because he's like, well, they're gonna give all these movies to Steven Seagal if I don't do them. And I can't abide by him getting this kind of power.
That's what's wild, though, dude. Is he is officially at Steven Seagal levels?
It is,
It
yes.
has been for a while. It's
He
very
should
weird.
try to gain a lot of weight. I think it'd be fun.
But he was working with Wes Anderson like 5 years ago, was 6 years ago. Like it's not that
The
long.
thing is, he might come out and do like a real movie
He'll
again,
do it
but he'll
again.
still have his fake shit movies.
Yeah.
I want to see that dude's credit card debt. It's got to be something crazy.
Maybe
Or
he's
those
betting
kids
on
are bleeding him dry.
Maybe he's betting on football games. You never know.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I
Good
don't-
life a bitch. Now I got to do it in fucking 9 more movies.
I guess Rumor Willis isn't pulling in a big enough paycheck on her
I'm
own
sure
these
she's
days.
not.
Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah. Why do I know that? I really,
Wow.
I can't tell
You
you.
just named all the Willis kids?
Yeah.
Good for you,
Yeah,
I
don't
guess.
know what the fuck the problem is there. So anyway, yeah, Bruce McGill, he's like, I'm gonna fucking fire this gun right at the closet, and whatever happens, that's God's problem.
Yeah.
And like Bruce McGill comes out, he is fucking sweating. Oh my god, it's hysterical.
He's beautiful in this
Looks
movie.
great.
When they mentioned the $500 deal for surveillance of this woman, Corey, she's so hot. She's
yeah.
2 fingers hot.
Yeah,
Three
yeah.
fingers.
3 fingers.
As in, I'd chop off 3 of my fingers to fuck her.
Yeah.
So after he's revealed to be fucking Bruce Willis's wife, he's like, "How many fingers is my wife?"
I mean,
If you're,
do you
if you're
really
the
want
wife,
me to
you're like,
answer
wait,
that?
Pardon me? Pardon me? What are we talking about? What's that?
How many fingers
I
is?
mean,
Wait, do you mean
wanna-
in my wife
Yeah, do you-
or?
Well, see, that's where my head went.
Of course.
Immediately. So we're talking fingers.
That's what that means.
Oh my god! And then like to top it, so the home life, not only having this weird argument with Bruce McGill, your wife is sleeping around in the same scene, maybe just prior to the
is.
reveal. It's my stupid fucking daughter Darian. Oh yeah, she's 13, but by 14 she'll be fucking the whole school.
Dude, this whole thing, it's insane. It was so fucking funny because he goes on this rant about like, she's fucking dressed like this. She puts makeup on like that. She'll be fucking the football team next year, all this shit. And Chelsea's sitting next to me like on her iPad, and she leans up and goes, is he talking about his own daughter?
It's outrageous.
It's a great question. Is he talking about his own daughter?
Oh my God, I can't. Okay, now, oh God, thank God. I was gonna say, Alec Baldwin was just quoting Bruce Willis. It wasn't. He didn't mean all that. To
I
his
don't
own
know,
daughter.
man. This fucking rant puts the Baldwin thing to shame.
It's pretty bad.
The wife is just like, hey, knock it off. And I'm like, I don't know, get divorced right
Yeah,
now.
it's just our hero, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen.
Well,
and I
it-
guess that's part of the point. But at the same time, it's like, wow, how this movie treats
I
women
am
is
so
outrageous.
angry at my ex-girlfriend. I'm going to write a script where a dad says a 13-year-old girl's going to get fucked, her brain's fucked out.
I mean, he's Archie Bunker. Like
Yeah,
that's like the
yeah.
kind of thing that he's going for. Is like,
yeah.
like the worst shit coming out of his mouth. I mean, honestly, he talks about like she has a friend named Tommy,
yeah.
and like this is a 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And he's talking about him like he's like swinging dick. Like, Tommy's fucking you, isn't he?
Like, it would make,
He's got a giant donkey dick.
You're not going out with Tommy anymore. I know what Tommy wants.
and it would be one thing if we do like 90210 rules where this girl is played by like a 21-year-old actress, and it's just
Sure.
like, you know, but no, this is like the youngest looking Danielle Harris.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
This side of them Halloween sequels,
Exactly.
absolutely. Which I think the previous one was also 1988.
yes.
Yeah, it's a little weird for you to be borderline like just come out and shaming your daughter like this, and also she has a little stuffed animal.
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
like, you can't do both. That's too much.
She's fucking that stuffed animal. I know it. That
You need
fucking
this to be
whore
like
animal teddy
Are you
whore.
rubbing it? Are you rubbing yourself with this? Is that what's happening?
I'm gonna smell it. It better not smell like what it's
I
what I think
swear
it's
to
gonna
God.
smell like.
I swear to God.
you need like this character to be like Maggie Grace's age. from
Exactly.
Taken.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like if she's 16, played by a 20-year-old, like, who are you fucking? It's like, it's still misogynistic as all get out, but it's at least a lot less disturbing.
Or don't you have like a kind of good annoying teenage daughter in Face Off?
Face Off, maybe.
Right.
Dominic
Oh,
Swain.
yes, Dominic
Yeah,
Swain.
yeah,
Dominic
yes.
Swain
Yeah.
is the daughter there.
And actually,
yeah.
they did this in Lethal Weapon 2, but I mean, Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon as well.
Sure.
Wherein I think
Teen Wolf too.
Danny Glover's daughter is like hitting on Riggs, but she's
Yeah.
like kind of young.
Yeah.
But she also is like in the 18-ish range anyway.
Yeah.
But at least that movie tries to play. I mean, because it's not. This is supposed to be a shattered family and a shattered man, and they've got like a congenial relationship
Yes.
with everyone.
These family scenes are fucking dark.
They are.
They truly are.
And so, like, he brings Bruce McGill outside. He's like, "Where do you want it? The face or the gut?"
oh yeah,
And
dude.
he's like, "Ah, give me the gut." And he gets punched in the stomach, and it's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" But I will take your $500 job. On
He's
this
got
Corey
a line
person.
here to Bruce McGill. And like, you know, he just caught Bruce McGill fucking his wife, so
Sure.
he can say anything he wants to him right now. He looks at it's Bruce McGill gives him a card, and it's a picture of Halle Berry as this Corey character, and he goes, "Corey, huh? You put a shot in her too, man. You just fucking slinging cum all over Los Angeles, Bruce McGill."
And meanwhile, Bruce McGill does not know that he has 91 seconds left on this earth. Like, you just got. I mean, you know, you probably had some good sex in the morning with an attractive lady, so that's a decent way
Yeah.
to go out. But then you got punched in the stomach.
Mhm.
You know, you're feeling bad about yourself.
It's crazy. He explodes in a lady, and then he explodes in a car.
And he just blows the fuck up. And again, the movie kind of doesn't care.
It doesn't care at all. Like, I think even the wife is like, "Well, who did this or whatever?" I don't know. Mr. fucking Rogers did it.
And look, later on, they're still at the house. Like, oh, we're staying in a motel because I
Yeah.
can still smell his burning mustache hair.
That's what you deserve to smell. You piece of shit.
And it's like, did she have any she seems kind of detached from it. Like, she was just fucking him to fuck him.
Yeah, but she's trying to
she
get
didn't
back
like
to him because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was like, "Oh, A,
Get
you're
a
never
dog.
around," and then she's doing this thing.
But you just have sex with someone and they explode in your yard, and you're like nonplussed
Well,
about it.
no, the fucking shot is amazing. She comes up and she thinks it's Bruce Willis,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's like,
Okay.
"Oh my God!" And then he's like laying in the garden. She's like, "Phew, okay, it's just the guy I just was fucking."
Because then she does this thing, which is a very annoying screenplay thing, where it's like, "I was only having sex with somebody else to get a rise out of you" thing.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, you're not even mad. You don't even want to hit me or anything. I think she says that. I'm almost
Just-
spit in my
Just
face.
say
Spit in my
"fuck you,
face.
Sarah."
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
Say
because-
"fuck you, Sarah," spit in my face, because that's what happens at the end of the
Yes,
movie
and
when it's like
cute.
it's like, "Oh, Sarah, fuck you, Sarah. I want to spit in your fucking face." And it's supposed to be this like, tee hee, they're in love
Mhm.
again. 'Cause
Yeah.
he saved her and the
Yeah.
movie's over.
And
It's so weird.
I just feel like this movie is too much with it, because right after this, our next scene is with Damon Wayans at a bar, basically doing "I fuck anything that moves"
Yes.
from Blue Velvet
That's
to some
right.
bartender.
I'm-
Like, he's cheating on Corey, and he's just like, "I got a problem fucking everything."
Well, the thing that starts. I mean, this is like the most like. This isn't even fucking Archie Bunker. This is just the pieces of shit of the time where fucking Bruce Willis is like, well, he says the rap music line later, but
Yeah.
he's like, I hate that funk shit. And I'm like,
Yes.
who hates funk? Give me a.
How do you hate
You're at a fucking
funk?
strip club. What do
Yeah.
you want to listen to Whitesnake? Please don't.
Where's Bach? You should be stripping to Bach.
First of all, there's plenty of White Snake that's been played at strip clubs.
No, that's what I mean. But those are the options.
Oh, I
White
see.
Snake or funk. Yeah, the funk.
Can you guys play Friday Night's a Good Night for Football? Thanks. Yeah.
Why can't she just strip to Ornette Coleman? Why not? I just don't understand it. Some free jazz.
Some Johnny Mathis would be nice.
Come on.
And that is kind of the most American thing of all time. If a lady was dancing to that Friday Night's All Right for Football song,
Yeah.
you're in a fucking good old fashioned American strip club, eating some good old fashioned American chicken wings, dude. That's about as red, white, and blue as it gets.
Playing with your footballs.
But yeah, so Damon Wayans, like the bartender, is like, I can't believe you cheated on Corey. And he's like, all I do is drink too much, lose friends, and fuck anything that moves. That's like, pretty cool, dude.
It's awesome.
And he's the guy at the strip club who's like in a relationship with one of the dancers, and he's fucking yelling at her to like put clothes on at one point. I'm like, it's a strip club. That's literally the business
It's
model.
just such a Neanderthal screenplay,
Yeah.
right? It's like women are terrible and they're all whores, but I want them to be whores.
I mean, it's the nastiest side of Shane Black, essentially.
It's,
Yes,
this guy's
yeah,
got
yeah.
problems.
I mean-
man, I hope he's worked through them.
He
This
seems like
movie,
he has.
Yeah, he seems like
I
he did
think so.
okay,
I mean,
yeah.
his later work is much better, and I enjoy most of his work, and I even kind of enjoyed this movie, but it definitely has
It's issues.
yeah.
Did you
Is,
guys catch the
yeah.
quick cameo here?
Eddie Griffin.
Eddie
Yeah.
Griffin is the strip club MC,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Quick question about production design. The back of Damon Wayans' head has a 13 on it. Is that a tattoo or is it shaved in hair?
Shaved in hair.
Got it.
Because
Okay.
there's one part, there's just one shot where it's like, oh, I guess he should get his number trim his number bush on his head, because he turns and the way the camera catches it, it's really kind of sticking
Getting
out.
out there,
Like
yeah.
it's thick. It's
I'm
a thick
gonna-
13.
I'm thinking about putting a number in my bush, a nice blonde 666 down below.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, dude.
Yeah.
This is the house of the devil now.
Do you want a full curl at the end of it, or are you just straights?
The last place I want hair is the back of my neck, though, guys. Like that's what I go to get haircuts for. To get
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
It's
could
working
wax it for
him.
all I care.
Yeah,
It's working for him. This 13 looks pretty sharp.
it's pretty dope. So like,
There's a wild thing, because isn't this the scene too? Damon Wayans meets Bruce Willis in the
he
bar.
just sees that he's
Yeah.
like looking at her or whatever, and it's like, what are you looking at, guy? And it's that macho horseshit.
I'm in a strip club, sir.
There's
that
crazy-
lady over there's taking her clothes off, and yeah, it's pretty interesting to look at.
Oh, you're so interested in strippers in a strip club.
Listen, yeah, it's like they just do this for their own pleasure, and you're not supposed to look at them.
Yeah.
There's a line like Damon Wayans says something about, because like he's like, oh yeah, you're a private detective or whatever, and this is a line that Chelcie pointed out last night. Viewers of a certain age will not understand, because Damon Wayans goes like, oh yeah, you're a private detective. Are you in the book?
The phone book.
Are you in the
Oh,
phone
my
book? So
God.
you didn't even fucking get it.
It
at
took me a
first.
second. The book. What book?
The book. That's what's your number? Oh, I'm in the book. We
Yeah.
printed books
Yeah.
with our fucking phone number and address in them, ladies and gentlemen.
And that line was, I think, in every movie from 1990 to 1997.
Are you in the book?
Are you
Yeah.
in the
or
book?
I'm in the book. You
Are you
can look me up
listed?
later. It's just, you think about the
Yeah.
concept of a non-business phone
Well,
book.
the thing is, like back then, it's like you couldn't give out an email address. So if you like met a sexy lady or a sexy dude and you knew their name, you could like look up their phone number and start calling
And-
them and start breathing heavily
Oh,
into the phone.
Oh, man, and you better have that answering machine ready to go
Yeah.
for those heaving, like, pervert voice calls.
I'm watching you.
And
What are you, Batman?
No, this is just going to be the rest of the show now. I like this actually.
And-
Oh yeah, I'm listening to you. Listen to the show.
And then lo and behold, 3 years later, another Harvey P. car shows up in the phone book. And then this guy is still breathing heavily on the other line. Who are these people?
Your comic sucks.
Where do they come from? Where do they go?
I wish Letterman fucking kicked you in the face. P car.
When do they ejaculate? Who are these people? Why don't they just come and get it over with?
So Damon Wayans fucking grabs Halle Berry and like takes her out of the club or whatever. And Bruce Willis kind of like goes out the back. And there's a weird, this is where we get a couple of the first of a few Bruce Willis flashbacks where he sees like a re-election poster for this senator and has this flashback of like him and this other security guard standing outside a hotel room door and the woman screaming and like, you clearly know what's going on behind that door.
And you could tell it was better days because he shaved back then.
Yep, that's exactly right. The hair's a little more put together. He even looks kind of thinner, honestly.
Oh, yeah. He's got the military cut and everything. And it's a Brainerd or Baynard.
Baynard, yeah. Senator Baynard. He like throws a beer bottle at this huge sign. Or
Played by
whatever.
Chelcie Ross, who also played, what's his face from Mad Men?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, Connie.
Connie
Hilton.
Hilton.
very
Conrad Hilton.
cool. Yeah.
I feel like
Great.
this guy was always playing this kind of character in these movies.
And you know, I'm sure they probably liked each other. But when what's his face finally died, the guy from the game, tall what's his face, James Rebhorn died.
yeah.
This guy was kind of tenting his fingers. Like,
Yeah.
that's another like 3 jobs. a year.
Here comes a paycheck from Mr. Chelsea Ross.
He's not going to get any more Seinfeld bit parts.
They all go to me. Don, now I get to play those roles.
It's going to be coming back anytime when the Seinfeld revival comes to coming to Chelsea.
Yeah, so that's his whole like what's going on with the senator sort of flashbacky kind of thing. Meanwhile, like now this dude, who's this hitman that tries to kill Bruce Willis?
Just this big guy, a bunch of hitmen are like waiting outside for Halle Berry.
Oh, that's right.
They knock out Bruce Willis and they're like, well, go kill this guy. And he starts to do like the Roger Rabbit to this guy where it's like, you're gonna die laughing. Because it's just basically like he's about to shoot him in the head and he's like, hey, he starts talking about how fat this guy's wife is. And he's like, lay off my wife, man. And he's like, well, your wife's so fat. And he just starts doing your wife's so fat jokes. And he starts, this guy who's about to end another man's life is just caught up in how funny these jokes are.
Eating it up, dude.
Yes.
He's like starting to feel kind of guilty about murdering such a comedic genius.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
laughing so hard at these your fat jokes. And man, talk about like slam time traveling back to the early 90s with the fucking
Your
I
mama's
mean,
so
they
fat.
would be your mama
Yes,
jokes,
for sure.
you know, but
Right,
just
right.
your wife, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And like this guy's laughing and slapping his fucking knee, and Bruce Willis just luckily finds this piece of broken glass on the ground and totally cuts this guy's throat. And
Pretty
that's
cool.
that is when I was like, oh, wait a second. It is going to be an unhinged Bruce Willis movie because he just flat out murdered a dude with broken glass.
That guy's dead, and he calls back. The attitude is like, "Oh, come on, man! Why'd you do? I was laughing at your fat lady jokes. Why you gotta do that to me?"
Oh man,
And
I'm dying.
That's how it feels a little like a Last Action Hero to me because it doesn't feel like reality. This
Yeah.
No.
movie.
And man, so then Tommy Lee Jones, no, Damon Wayans
Jack.
and Halle Berry are driving in 2 separate cars. Just carpool, but like I guess
Totally.
you want to leave her car here or whatever. And somebody's like fucking with her, and she gets out of the car. And like Damon's like, "Don't get out of the car," and she gets lit up like wowzers.
This was shocking because this
Yeah.
is 91. She
Yeah.
wasn't quite yet
Oh,
Halle
sure, yeah.
Berry, so I was not, having seen this movie for the first time, I just think Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she gets blown away. And I was like, oh, she's definitely not in the
Yes,
rest
you'd
of this movie.
think that we were introducing the female character of
Yes.
the movie that
Yeah.
I guess he'll protect or whatever for the surveillance job. But boom,
No.
that job is over now.
No, her last name must be Corleone because that's the only way you get this kind of treatment.
It is truly, this Halle Berry's just got squibs exploding all over her body.
And it's a very like Sin City image when you
Yes.
cut to her on the ground with all the holes in her.
Yeah, totally. I thought she was going to start talking to him.
The other Bruce Willis performance. That was he was pretty good in that, I thought.
Yeah, I mean he's had a lot of opportunities, and he usually does well when he has opportunities, but for some reason right now it's all about the moolah.
It's got to be gambling, dude. I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think he's just, all the kids are growing and out of the nest.
Yes.
He's like not with, Demi Moore, but they have like a weird, maybe we fuck every once in a while, like
Yeah.
on Christmas or something.
Oh.
But like otherwise, he's got to just be gambling.
we might be fucking on Christmas. That's cool.
Right?
And it's like
Yeah.
$1 million a pop, basically, these movies, probably. Because, I mean, like, these movies don't have money in them. So it's like, we will pay Bruce Willis $1 million so he'll be on the poster and be in the movie for like approximately. I can't imagine he's in these movies like a lot, right?
No, that's the thing. I forget which one. There was one out like a few months ago that I don't know if it was, our good buddy Nathan Rabin or somebody was like, I think Nathan was covering some of these. So
he's
maybe it
covering
was
them
his
right
thing.
now, I think, yeah.
It was one of those things where it was like, he's literally in this movie for like one scene.
Yes.
And then the rest of the movie is just a bunch of fucking dead-eyed Canadians that you'd never want to watch in a movie anyway.
Yes.
It's like Bruce Willis is in it, and then once he's not, it's just a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
Yeah, and and he's not. I mean, I guess at this time he was more talkative, but at this point, by the time now, he's not known for being a verbal master.
He's a statue.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
stone face.
Stone face, yeah, because he's got that head that he laid down in a riverbed that then got smooth from erosion.
I thought he fell in like a bowling ball waxer or something.
Oh, that's what's happening. He's a golem. So people are all these like Canadian movie producers just put like a little piece of paper in his mouth, and he has to do their movie.
Oh, absolutely. And the bowling ball angle, I kind of want to grab Bruce Willis by the head, put 2 fingers through his eyes, and my thumb in his mouth, right?
Yeah.
And I want to roll him down a bowling alley lane.
Lane.
Thank you. Yeah.
You got
pay
that
me
much
first.
you can do it, but you got to pay me. You got that much beef with Bruce Willis?
Well, I just think he's got a nice skull.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it'd be very nice to roll
Get some
down a
strikes,
bowling lane.
Maybe even hit a turkey, dude.
Yeah, of course, dude.
He's kind of looking like about a half measure of the Prometheus guys at this point.
Oh my God, he should be in one of those movies. They should just paint his body all white.
Yeah.
He should be naked.
Dark sunken eyes. Yeah, get that shit
Oh, he
going.
could have played Dr. Manhattan too, I guess.
Ooh.
The
Yeah,
low budget
no,
Dr.
Big
Manhattan.
swinging blue
See,
dick.
Steve's
doesn't have
laughing, but there is an alternate universe where no one gives a shit about comic
Oh, of
properties.
course.
Like when the Corman Fantastic Four era.
Yeah.
I could see
Maybe.
if that correlated to now.
See, Bruce Willis doesn't have a big enough dick to be Dr. Manhattan, but he is a big enough dick to be one of the Watchmen.
Yes,
He
could be the
play
dick.
Dr. Man's dick.
Yes,
That's what I
yes,
think
yes.
Yeah, that's I think what we should do. There.
dude, I'm just playing a fucking cock, man.
Yeah, I just swing back and forth most of the day. That's
Listen,
mostly my job.
Not a bad gig. I just gotta hang down here. I just hope it doesn't get cold.
You don't. You want me to get hard? Okay.
And
I'm putting my rib cage up.
the balls could be 2 other Bruce Willises.
There's
Yes.
the really great end to Halle Berry getting totally gunned down is Damon Wayans jams his car into the gunman's legs and wedges him against another car. Fuck, that's brutal. But then the weird thing is, like, Bruce Willis, after being knocked out, like, by those dudes at the beginning of this whole sequence, magically just finds them.
Yeah,
and
so
like
he starts
rolls
firing.
up
Yeah,
on them.
he's like he kills half of them, and then when he kills that other guy, and then
Willis, Bruce Willis shoots this dude. There are so many fucking
Oh, yeah.
headshots in this movie.
it's great.
Whew.
Bring me to take me down to the Squib Paradise City.
Yep.
This is fucking beautiful.
It makes all the difference, dude. Same
It
thing
really
with,
does.
with Billy Blanks at the beginning of the
yes.
movie. That's a huge squib, just his head coming off.
And this is the beginning of just like the conflate. Like, yeah, he's a private investigator, but he's kind of a cop. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
He's kind of a cop because the cops come and like you're like, oh, that's the fucking rest of your night, and that's tomorrow. You're going to be in that jail. No, they go to Corey's apartment next. The cops are like, oh yeah, so you killed him? Okay, good. Okay, we'll see you later.
One guy that's not crazy about him. Who this kind of comes to nothing. The guy that's
the
like
chief guy.
The chief was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you
Right.
you rat bastard, son of a bitch! You've been calling the senator and this, that, and the other thing." It's like, better keep your nose out of this business, kind of a deal.
That's where they have, because they're at the police station at one point, and it's right before this dude says that to them, where Bruce Willis has that line about Damon Wayans' pants, and he's like, leather pants, and he's like, yeah, and he goes, how much those are running? And he's like, $650. Is there a TV in there or something? And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, because how
TV pants?
the structure of that exchange.
Yeah.
What does that sound like to you?
It sounds like the Pulp Fiction
Milkshake.
$5. What is it, bourbon in it or something? And I was like, oh shit, man! Like QT definitely saw this movie. I think.
I'm sure he did.
And he's embroiled in this whole thing for the less than the cost of those pants.
That's right. That's right. Oh, what a life this dude leads. And there's a weird thing. This also sort of comes to nothing because Damon Wayans is like, hey, Bruce Willis, why would your good buddy Bruce McGill give you this job if he knew it was going to be so dangerous?
Yes.
And he's like, oh, because he was fucking my wife. And I was like, so is this movie now saying that like it was some big, because I thought Bruce McGill was just trying to lay some pipe, but this makes it sound like it was this larger like conspiratorial, like, oh, if he gets killed, then I can continue fucking his wife.
But that's like just them like creating a narrative. Like I don't think that's actually supposed to be what was actually happening.
Right. Okay.
But if you're the cops, you got to be all right. So Bruce Willis, just sit down. So this morning, a man exploded in front of you, and you say you had nothing to do with that. We mostly believe that, and now you just so happen to run into a hit squad. Is that what you're calling it? A hit squad? And you killed 6 other men within a 13-hour period. You're just going to be in jail for like 24 hours. We just need you off the streets. We'll figure it out. We're going to hold you here.
All of her ex-boyfriends are also in a militia that I took out. You can ignore that. They were bad guys.
She used to gangbang a group of German terrorists. I took them all out. Nobody fucks my wife.
Wow. That would have been that's a Friday night.
She called herself a Gruberite.
That's right. It's time for us to have sex with your wife, Bruce Willis.
Somebody had fun.
Now you're going to watch. That's right, Bruce Willis. We're going to cuck you right here at the top floor of Nakatomi Tower.
Oh, Mr. Cowboy, you can say yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, in the corner in that chair.
You should have just gotten the dog like she asked.
No touching yourself.
So they do go to Corey's apartment, and it's been tossed, obviously, and they're looking. Damon Wayans, we find out later, is just pretty much looking for drugs at this point.
Yes.
But Bruce Willis is looking for evidence, and they do find
this tape, right?
Tape,
yeah,
the tape.
That's like the blackmail evidence, I guess, of the conspiracy of trying to legalize gambling, which is apparently Marcone was going to give like $6 million to Baynard, the senator, for his vote or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is on tape. And Corey decided to try to, I guess, blackmail these individuals in order to get Damon Wayans his quarterback job back.
And like, here's something also. Speaking of Marcone, it's one thing like you get Marcone. Shane Black writes the scripts like, oh, Marcone, he's the head of the whole thing, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then you cast this guy who's literally just the rich Texan from The Simpsons.
Totally.
You just got to change his name to like Garth McGinnis or something. Or
absolutely, it's kind of a weird like. We should have, but it's crazy.
Clem Westfield or something.
But I got to tell you how great Marcone just rolls off the tongue. I mean, that is such a classic 80s kind of villain name, It does roll off your tongue. So in that sense, it's like, get someone who doesn't look like the fat Texan from The Simpsons.
Whenever I hear an Italian name, I like stiffen up. I know there's going to be a crime guy coming my way.
Yeah, because this feels more Texan than Italian.
Absolutely,
in a big way. Yeah.
There's nothing Italian about this actor whatsoever.
We're gonna call you Garth Ennis, and it's a 2
Is that a
for
comic book
double.
writer?
Yeah.
But look at this, though. I mean, the guy, rest in peace, he's been dead for a while. But the character is Sheldon Marcone.
Mhm.
Okay,
Well, Sheldon, I guess, sounds white.
but his
Apparently Italians aren't white. This just in.
I meant like mayo
I
ass.
got it.
the actor's name was Noble Willingham.
Yes,
Which
he was
is
on
a
Walker,
fuck-
Texas Ranger forever.
He was
Great
like
name.
he was kind of like the third guy
Yes.
on Walker, Texas
Yes.
Ranger. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. I've seen a lot of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Whoa.
I could-
It's on Pluto, dude, and it's just
Oh, is it?
Oh no.
Oh, this is a Walker channel, right?
there is. And you can just watch like 3 hours of Walker, and you're having a pretty good time.
The eyes of the ranger.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's stunning.
Next recap podcast.
Oh, definitely.
I think it must have been because
Walker
like
told me I have AIDS.
Yeah.
at the time where this could have happened. So like we were just talking about this on the Delta Farce episode.
Sure.
2007 they make that fucking Chuck Norris joke, right?
Yeah.
So like the late aughts right there. We weren't yet doing TV reboots, but
Yeah.
like what a perfect thing to do a Walker Texas Ranger reboot with Chuck Norris at the height of all those fucking stupid Chuck Norris jokes. We instead
Right.
just remade the show with a completely different actor,
With the
right?
supernatural kid.
Did we? Really,
Yeah,
did
there was a
they really
Walter.
did that?
Padalecki, I want to say it.
Yes.
Maybe there's a Padalecki, or is it the other one?
I don't know which one it was.
Yes,
Jared
that's
Padalecki was one of the supernatural
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
on that Friday the 13th remake.
I have not seen this, but I guarantee there's not enough violence. They should have
No,
gone
no.
heavy violence.
Yes,
on a
he better be
remake.
doing roundhouse kicks like at least
Yeah.
3 times an
I, mean,
episode.
I see teeth every episode flying.
That's another thing. I mean, can you imagine like
Should be a
if
Shudder program.
Hell yeah, dude.
Walker, we got to talk to you again. I mean, like, we want you to be tackling legs, pulling your guns on people. The kicks, it's just, it's really showy and it's really bizarre.
It's not becoming of law enforcement.
See, the problem we have is the scenes where you're supposed to be a human suck. But the kicking and the guns.
They put the tape in, they want to listen to it, and there's a fun, and this like, 'cause this movie is kind of a proto Shane Black. The movies that he does now that I really like, which is like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys, like the 2-man detective movies, and it's kind of really funny and like silly shit happens like
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
expect. And that's what this is sort of doing, but it's like Bruce Willis aggroes his way out of the joke, because the joke is like he you know, Damon Wayans like, okay, this is boring, I'm gonna hit fast forward, and he's like, you can't fast forward, it's gonna ruin the fucking tape. Oh man, you ruined the fucking tape, you ruined the fucking tape. I was like, dude, it's a joke in a movie, it's just chill. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Fast forward eats the tape. Fast forward eats the tape.
But to be fair, that is what Bruce Willis is known for, is
Yes.
that kind of delivery.
Yeah,
That is
Honestly,
his trademark.
I agree with you, but this reaction is consistent with the rest of his shitty
Oh, yeah,
reaction.
he's a piece of shit.
Well,
I mean,
no,
that's
but-
just the
But to Steve's point, though,
Yeah.
like think about, all right, so put that action in The Nice Guys,
Yeah.
and it's like Russell Crowe goes to fast forward the tape, and picture Ryan Gosling like freaking out about that. Like
Yeah.
it would be handled much
Yes,
better,
it
and you'd be
would.
laughing at it.
It
Like
would.
that's the thing. You don't laugh. At least I wasn't laughing at this. I was like, you're just being a douchebag, Bruce Willis. None of this is funny.
probably the funniest smash cut in the last 20 years is Ryan Gosling trying to break into that. He tries to break into something and he breaks through glass and cuts his hand, and
Yeah,
it smash
yeah.
cuts to the ambulance. And I'm
Yes.
like, that's a
Yep.
delight.
Yeah,
That's a knee slapper.
That movie is great.
I gotta go back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and honestly,
Mhm.
it's been a minute since I've seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Same. I loved it though.
I
yeah.
think
Holds up.
you and I watched it, Eric, like in
Yeah.
Astoria one time, like it was a random
Yes.
Andrew and Eric like evening or something.
I
Like
think
you
you're
guys
right.
weren't around and we just maybe put that on.
'Cause
It's
that
been
was
so long.
that was a delightful movie.
It holds up for the most part.
So the fast forward eats the tape. This was Halle Berry's like blackmail
Yeah.
evidence against this guy. So
Because she wanted to get Damon Wayans' job back, essentially, as the quarterback.
Yes.
right. So then it's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna drop you off or whatever, Damon Wayans. And then Bruce Willis kind of puts some math together about like, oh yeah, well, Halle Berry's car, blah, 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 and realizes like, oh, there's probably a bomb in that, and
Yes.
like runs to save Damon Wayans right here. A lot of I gotta say, a lot of car bombs.
Yeah,
kinda nice.
good explosions, I would say, throughout this movie. Lebowski's landlord
Yes.
Jack Keeler, dude.
comes to he's kind of doing a Chinatown scene with the knife near his nose kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
He's like, so before that though, Bruce Willis is smart to put the C4 he found in the trunk.
This
closes
gives
the
you
trunk.
another fucking line that's basically right out of Die Hard with a Vengeance somehow. It's like, what do you want to leave this on the street for some kid to
some
find
kid,
it?
Yeah.
some kid could find
Oh,
it.
that's right, because like Damon Wayans is like, oh, just leave the bomb here
Yeah.
or whatever, and he's like, what? So the neighborhood kids can find it?
Yeah, and
Totally.
It's interesting. Like if you could have leaned into Bruce Willis even more, this could have just been his last action hero. Like
Yes.
those lines are just.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's that's the thing, is that the tone of the script is cynical, deeply, deeply cynical.
Yeah.
They just the Tony Scott is too much. He's kind of too flat. I like Tony Scott, but he is a little too flashy for it.
Yes.
Well,
I'm checking now for Die Hard with a Vengeance. It might be after this movie.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah.
95.
95.
Oh,
Wow,
95,
yeah.
because part two, I think, is also
91 or
90 or 91, maybe.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So yeah, I by the way, just to point out, just the performance again of Jack Keeler in this movie, like he is legitimately intimidating. And then when you think about him in Lebowski, and he's like, dude, today's already the 10th. You know what I mean? And it's just like great fucking character actor.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
totally.
Like those, like the dude's landlord and this guy credited as Scrabble Man.
Oh yeah.
Like two vastly different characters.
This is just, they pepper this movie with these actors like that. Now you're like, Fucking Kim Coates has like a great scene later. I forget who the guy he's partnered with is also great.
That guy's in a ton of shit.
He's hot dog guy from the
hot dog guy.
Hot dog guy from
Superman 3?
No, from a movie we did with Justin J. Case, which is called the Shyamalan movie, The Happening.
Oh,
yes, he's like big. Oh, I love hot dogs. That guy.
Oh, that's right.
I was writing to myself last night. I was like, how the fuck is Brian James not in this movie? Like,
Right.
did the negotiations not go through? Like him or Tobin Bell? You need at least one of them in this film.
Yeah, Brian James would be kind of perfect for this. Weren't we just talking about Brian James with something? Oh no, I had just because he's in The Player.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I just rewatched that a couple weeks ago now, and like again, similar like the scope of a character actor. Brian James, what he's doing in The Player versus Brian James in almost literally everything else I've seen the man in, completely different characters, and he sells both of them. Rest in peace, another one gone.
I mean, he's fantastic, and I think you would have a Brian James type. Usually in the Milo role, but I like
Taylor Negron,
I think
Oh,
he's very
so
good in the
He's so
role.
good.
But these two dudes blow up, and then it's basically now let's go into the world's darkest John Cassavetes home life situation.
Yeah.
When it's Bruce Willis. He's bringing Damon Wayans home just to hang out for a bit, and Danielle Harris, his young daughter, is just watching TV. She's watching Lethal Weapon, which is very winky.
yeah,
Obviously.
it's kind of funny.
I
Admittedly, as much as this movie was playing for me, I was like, "Ooh, fuck! It's been really long since I've watched Lethal Weapon, and oh god, I want to turn this off right now and turn it on."
better movie.
It
And
is.
and he just starts yelling at this girl. And I mean, like,
He's like
it
trying
get-
to give her ice cream, and she's like mad at him, so he just throws it all out the fucking window. It's-
Which dude, you should go to fucking jail.
Absolutely.
You throw a perfectly good thing of ice cream out the window like that? Fuck you.
You know what she wants to do, Damon Wayans? She wants to fuck Tommy.
She's gonna fuck that ice cream if I don't
Fuck
throw it out
Tommy
the window.
It'd be
so
great.
she gets this ice cream.
You go to the next one. Hey, Hollenbeck, I got fucking Rocky Road in my pool now.
I'm gonna get the bill for the filters will be on your desk.
See, and you know what? You can put that in this movie.
Sure.
And then he's like, fuck you, you dumb motherfucker. And it's like,
Yeah, you
Bruce
can take
Willis-
the expenses out of my wife's pussy.
let's go make it even. Come over here and fuck my wife.
Yeah,
That'll make up for your pool filter.
I mean, are you cool with that, Mrs. Bruce Willis?
Mrs. Bruce Willis.
Well, I'm not a character, so I must be.
Thank you, because
she's not.
She's not a character at all. The daughter sort of starts to become a character here.
But I mean, like, he is like full on like verbally abusing this girl, and the wife's
Yeah.
like, Joni, go to bed or something. Instead of like, fuck you, why are you yelling at this girl?
yeah, and I think they're trying to
Ooh.
also play a little bit of like the daughter learned it from her because
Yes,
they're
yeah.
giving it to each other back and forth. Like, Uncle Jay's not a fuck up like you are, Dad.
Don't call me a fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't call me a fuck up.
You're
Oh,
a fuck up, Dad.
Oh, Uncle Jimmy, you know what he does? He cheats on his taxes, something that nobody does.
Yeah.
You hear me? I've never cheated on my taxes. Do you know how? Because I never paid them.
Can that uncle call me? I need to figure something out.
Well, also though, Bruce Willis, like you only really got to start filing your taxes when you make over $10,000 a year, and I feel like
At this rate, yeah.
these jobs you're pulling, dude, I don't know
He
about
makes
that.
$1,000 a year.
The actress playing the wife is Chelcie Field, who is like small roles in a bunch of stuff, including playing Tila in Masters of the Universe, the movie. But I'm pretty sure she is the flight attendant in Commando who Arnold is like, my friend is dead tired.
Oh, no.
When he kills that guy on the plane.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
pretty
that.
sure she's that character too.
I think I also believe she's Mrs. Scott Bakula.
Yes, she's been married to Scott Bakula for a very long time.
Oh,
That's right.
wow.
Lucky lady.
Holy shit.
Lucky lady.
Absolutely. My God. Scott Bakula.
Fuck.
Well, the
Oh,
problem is
boy.
like when
Captain Archer.
you're
Oh,
getting
my
right
God.
there, then he's like, Sam, why haven't I leaped yet?
Sam, I'm starting to lose it. Can we leap soon, please?
But like, yeah, and I mean, this scene is one of the longer scenes of the movie.
Yeah.
Where he's going in the kitchen, out the kitchen. She's like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit."
Dude, and it's crazy because to your point, Steve, this is very Cassavetes, and I was like, where is the vodka?
Yes.
Bruce Willis isn't even smoking in this scene. I was like, you gotta light up a cigarette if you're gonna be yelling like this,
But
man.
We do see the photo of him with Jimmy Carter, and maybe this is where the full flashback happens. I
Yes,
can't remember,
where-
but we established that
Oh, well, you know, it must be because there's already a line. We know that he has saved the president's life because fucking hilarious moment. One of like they go back to the police station before they go to the house or something, and there's this weird like little nerd police guy standing there.
Oh yeah.
And Bruce Willis looks at him and he's like, "What?" And he goes, "They told me what you did for the president. I just want to shake your hand." I'm like, "Oh man, come on!"
Listen,
no.
Listen, I'm gonna die in a pointless attack later.
Yes.
I just wanted to be a character for a moment.
Listen, they're gonna try to frame you for my murder. It's gonna be an afterthought. It's gonna last a few seconds, and no one's gonna care or think about it.
Also, now that I'm doing the math here for a second, like how old is Bruce Willis supposed to be? I mean, Carter was president in the late 70s. Like,
I
was in the
would-
fucking
yeah.
Secret Service.
Yeah, Carter's tough. I would guess they just wanted generic president, but then why would you cast somebody who looks exactly like Jimmy Carter that
Exactly.
famously only plays Jimmy Carter?
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
That's just kind
All
of
right.
you
Well,
get, like-
I mean, Jimmy Carter was president in 1980, right? That's when the election was.
Yeah, but that's-
and
yeah, I guess it's
Bruce
11
Willis,
yeah, 11 years
55,
ago.
25 years old.
okay.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
That checks out.
Young whippersnapper, right out of after college or wherever he went.
There is a great exchange somewhere amidst the freak out. Oh, it's actually, it's because he sees the picture of him with the president that Damon Wayans goes, I got my picture taken with Don Johnson once. And Bruce Willis is like, oh yeah, you still got it? And like Damon Wayans, great fucking delivery. He's in the middle of sitting down and he's like, nah, I threw it out.
And at this point, and I don't know why, again, like just go home. He's like, mind if I take a shower in your house? Like, I don't know. I'm in the middle of like an enormous fight with my entire family.
Yeah.
Right
Well, then
now.
I'm going to get in the shower so I don't have to hear it.
The problem is that it's like this is Lethal Weapon, and
Yes.
in that relationship, Riggs and Murtaugh have a relationship that's fleshed out that you could actually contextually see that happening. And
How do
here
you all know
can-
each other? We're family. That's not till
Exactly.
part 4, but that's the
yes,
relationship.
yes.
But Eric, he wasn't divorced. Shane Black wasn't divorced when he wrote Lethal Weapon. He was
fucking-
divorced.
Shane Black wrote this script with his teeth. He's so fucking angry.
And he goes in, and Bruce Willis is like, hey, I got to give you a towel. And like, he's like taking pills. He's get the fuck out of my house. I'll put those pills up your ass. It's like, I don't know, man. It's not like he's smoking a joint. He's just taking some pills.
No, and like
of my
I don't know,
business.
his fucking lady friend blew up
Yes.
or was blown away. Rather, he's
Yeah.
seen 2 separate car explosions happen.
Like, who gives a shit? And like, you could have the angle of like, I'm trying to be a good father, get this shit out of my house, but at the same time, it's like, well, that doesn't jive with everything else we just watched.
Yes.
Right.
No, well, that I think what's funny about it is like the title, like being the last boy, is like he does believe in all that shit, but he's also a huge hypocrite.
Yes.
Right.
Like that's what I mean. Like it's about degeneration almost, and like he's just like
Degeneration.
hell yes.
Sorry, dude,
with
sorry.
Chamber
Well, I
and all
guess
of them.
the idea is like, I guess the world failed him, so he doesn't
Yes.
care anymore.
Yes.
And something, Damon Wayans on his way out, he finds out like
Oh, this
Danielle
that
Harris,
comes to nothing.
Danielle Harris like, you were my dad's favorite football player. Well, you're such a huge. I was joking when I said I didn't know who you were, and like,
Yeah.
will you sign my dad's card? And he says, sure. To the last Boy Scout.
Yeah, there it is. At least someone didn't say it. But man, how hilarious is this though? She's like, "Oh yeah, like you said, Steve. Like, is my father's favorite football player. When you had all that trouble, he stopped watching football altogether." I was like, I don't know. I don't know that I buy that.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's probably still gonna keep watching football.
And it's around here where we also get Damon Wayans, Wayans. I feel like Letterman, Oprah. He talks about how he was gonna be a father, but then a truck jumped a curb
This
and
is
killed
brutal.
his wife with the 8-month-old
And-
baby inside.
And I've been spending the last years hunting down that truck driver, and my vengeance will be soon at hand. No, he just cries.
I have to say, this part I think he kind of does okay with, because he's like, the story is fucking harrowing. Is like I was playing a game, biggest game of my life. My wife was walking in LA. She
La
got hit.
Brea Boulevard. It's
Yeah.
like, this is why you don't walk in Los Angeles.
It's
folks.
totally true, dude. Take a cab or buy a car. And she was hit by a car. She died. And then he's like, the baby lived for 17 minutes. He fell asleep. And dude, I got to say, when Damon Wayans was like, he got to have one dream before he died, I was like, that's hitting me, and I don't even like kids. Like it fucking, he really sold that one. It's only later when it's actually in Halle Berry's apartment when they're like, all right, you're looking over all this wreckage. You got to cry right here.
Yeah.
And it is definitely the thing that people who are acting do when they can't cry is they put their head down and cover their eyes with their hands. And then they cut. And when you come back, magically there's just tears there. And it's just like, oh, he couldn't get there.
Oh,
but why could he? He was on fucking Living Color. Don't expect that of this guy.
Simone could have done it.
Simone, you're in the last Boy Scout. You are the last Boy Scout.
You're gonna do Homie the Clown.
Okay, a little bit of Damon Wayans, a little bit of Noble Willingham. You're gonna be a big fat Texan, Simone.
It's somewhere around here too where they say Matthews, which is Bruce McGill's character, the cops are like, oh yeah, well, Matthews was fucking his wife. And that's what, again, this detective character where this comes to nothing just starts like rubbing his beard like, say, found out his wife was fucking around. Maybe he put the bomb in Bruce McGill's car.
Yeah.
Comes to nothing.
Absolutely nothing, but I appreciate the attempt of increasing the body count.
Well, because not an attempt, they do a good job. This guy just
Yes.
because when Taylor Negron pretty much shows up. The weird part about this movie, I guess, is it's almost not long enough. Like I almost need a little bit, like the whole family scene. I needed one more action scene between Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans to bond before that, because like they are like best buds at the beginning of this family scene. I'm like, how though? You know what I mean? It's a little too quick. But
well, isn't there a scene where they throw Damon Wayans off of an overpass?
that's happening right now.
Oh,
Bounce him off.
Because
that's
this
happening now.
Yes, not now.
Right.
But the rest of the movie basically turns into one crazy day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Which is rad. I
Yes.
appreciate a good one.
because
crazy
in
day.
the morning, this cop is like is going to see what's going on. He sees Taylor Negron and a couple of dudes hanging out outside in front of the house. He's like, is there a problem? He's like, yes, officer. There's too many bullets in this gun, and just shoots the dude in the head.
Dude,
I love it. I
Rocks.
love it.
it rocks.
And he's
so
walking around
hard.
with this fucking like cattle prod he was using on
Yes.
people.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good villain.
He keeps on calling Bruce Willis Joseph,
Yes.
Yes,
Samuel.
he's a good villain. He's good in any type of role, really.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always liked him.
Think about him in this. I'm gonna keep doing this, but as long as I can make these weird connections. But think about him in this versus he's in the episode of Seinfeld with the smelly car playing the hairstylist. And what I want to do, it's so awesome.
Or chairman of the board as well.
Oh, that's
love
right.
that.
Where he's also fucking great in that movie. He was so great.
He
God,
was great.
why
He was
are
great.
all the greats gone?
And it's weird because usually he had that long dark hair, and in this movie he's got like this bleach blonde short hair. It's very unsettling kind of. It does make him more menacing for sure, because Taylor Negron not known for being menacing.
no,
but he can do
definitely
it.
Well, it's usually you would, like we were talking about Brian J, like you would have the big, tall,
Yes.
menacing guy.
Yeah.
He's shorter. It's more like almost like an anime villain. Like you
Yes.
kind of imagine him having a
Right,
sword.
Yeah, he's he's great, and he's great in this, but it is quasi gay coded Hollywood villain.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
big
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
How and why? Because it's one of my favorite things. When fucking Damon Wayans just gets chucked over this overpass, how does that happen? Like I think he's looking in on something, and
Yeah, and Kim Coates and the gang just do that, and they
it's-
don't even follow up.
They
don't.
don't. It's Kim Coates, and did we recognize Goon number 2?
No.
A 1991 James Gandolfini himself.
Oh, yes.
What's
Really?
that Gandolfini?
Gandolfini,
Oh.
dude.
He must have been a Scott guy, because he'll be in True Romance
Oh,
in a
yeah.
little bit.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
taking a Pelham.
oh right.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. He's one of the goons in the car that
Okay.
rolls off the cliff and like the
Yeah.
big chase scene.
because he doesn't have any dialogue. I think
he does not speak at all. It's this scene,
Yes.
the scene where they're in, is it like the woods? Wherever they do the handoff with
Okay.
the suitcases.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
He's
the woods.
there
Yeah.
and he runs after him, and then in the car chase he goes off
Yeah.
the cliff.
It's a good Bellini, Bruce Willis.
But they just chuck him over an overpass.
He gets up and it's just like, I'm okay, everyone. There's me and there's Super Dave. And then he falls down.
Dude, a Super Dave Osborne reference.
I
That was
know.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was the early 90s.
We loved it.
I still love it.
I watched the Super Dave show as a kid. I don't remember.
You don't remember it?
No, I don't remember a ton of it.
Oh, I mean, it was just what you think it is.
Yeah,
he
he
would
gets
like
to do
go
some
to do a
adventures.
stunt, and then a dummy would get set on fire.
Sounds fantastic.
So
But Bruce Willis gets kidnapped.
and then we get this parlor scene at this indoor pool.
This is the
that-
Kim Coates scene.
Yeah.
and you see fucking Noble Willingham with his shirt off. That's
Oh yeah, they're like, make Joseph a drink. Make that too. I'm taking off my top and getting into the pool.
I honestly was waiting for him to walk in and like the way like oil comes up, like it just comes off him. He's just so
He's like
evil.
Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah, he's just evil, and he's just it's separating in the water.
See, the other thing that sucks about making this dude named Marcone is how fucking funny would it be if you saw this dude come out of the pool and he'd been swimming with a cowboy hat on the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he's just got his trunks, no shirt on, and a cowboy hat just beautifully perched on his head.
We don't do swim trunks from where I'm from. We do swim chaps.
But he does. Bruce Willis does coolly murder Kim Coates here because he's like, "Could I get a cigarette?" And he's like, "Sure." And he punches him in the face. When he goes to light it, he's like, "That's the one. Do it again. I'm gonna fucking kill you." And he's like, "Give me a light." And he punches him again. And then he punches his nose and just breaks it.
Dude, he does the fucking nose cartilage all into your brain.
Yeah,
punch.
there's a line like he just killed Chet. He put his nose through his brain or whatever.
It was a national but everybody was worried about that happening
Oh,
to them in
yeah.
real life
Oh,
for
yeah.
about 7 years.
because it's like, I'm gonna get hit with the palm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get the palm.
upward.
Yep.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was-
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a, what do you call
there.
it there? It was like, it's perfect for this movie. It is schoolyard conversation all of them. You know, if you do this thing with your hand, it can go right to your guy's nose. When you go to your brain, and you're dead.
I mean, I'm
He's
sure
dead.
it's true, but not from like a sixth grader like punching somebody. A big fucking dude like Bruce Willis, maybe. though.
Yeah, Bruce Willis punching a sixth grader. Hell yeah.
This was like the heyday of them ruining huge scenes in trailers. Because this scene to me, I would have been like on the scene, but this whole thing is in every trailer.
Is that
for this-
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a trailer.
It's
for this
weird.
movie.
It's
Oh, that's
very
too bad.
Weird, yeah.
Ruined.
Noble Willingham is just like, let me tell you the whole thing, what we're doing here. It's like, basically,
Yeah.
the
There was
set-
a quick moment with Milo where he's just like, shall we have a formal introduction? And Bruce Willis is like, who gives a fuck? And I like that. I like that
Oh, and then-
pushing off.
and then
the
he's like,
parlor
oh, you're
scene.
so cool. One day I'm going to make you squeal. And then he goes, yeah, play some rap music.
Of course.
And
Or
then he
no,
ruins
not
it.
make you school, make you throw up,
Yes.
which is like,
Play some rap music.
this is a movie for your uncle.
Knee slapping uncles.
Somewhere around here, Damon Wayans gets the address of the senator,
Sure.
which is
Baynard.
which he's gonna go like track him down or something.
Because I think that's what he thinks Bruce Willis is.
yes,
at the
that's
moment.
right.
And
Yeah, and Noble Willingham here, it says like, oh, we're gonna, or maybe it's Milo that says it, that we're gonna frame you for the senator's murder. or
Right, because
whatever.
he explains Noble Willingham is like, we were bribing all the senators on this committee to, they're trying to pass legalized gambling.
the
or-
FanDuel Act of
Yeah.
1991.
or he's paying them off so like they will vote to legalize, and this Baynard was the only one who was like, no, that's not going to happen. So he's like, well, he didn't want my $6 million, so I'm just going to murder him, and then we're going to blame you, Bruce Willis.
And is he going to blow up the stadium as well? Is that the other plan?
No.
Because what's the bomb supposed to be for?
Well, the bomb is supposed to blow up the senator, I guess, at the stadium.
so it would have to be
but
at the stadium.
I don't know if it would be enough to blow up the
Now,
entire
the
stadium.
way we're going to get ashes back in seats is more violent action and terrorist attacks
People
at the stadium.
love terrorism. They love Bane.
I want to make the audience feel so unsafe at these football games, baby. The money's gonna roll on in.
We have released 10 violent maniacs and we have given them very large knives. We'll see how many of you survive.
Legalized gambling, loose Rottweilers.
Dude, holy shit. Cabin, you just inspired the next great entry in the franchise, dude.
Oh, boy.
The Purge, Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes.
great.
I like it.
Yeah, oh,
And
do
then
it, yeah.
also the Purge loose Rottweilers. I like that idea.
I think the thing is, so here's what it is. It wasn't that Baynard turned him down. Baynard
Yes.
demanded more money.
Yes.
So the deal is that briefcase
Mm.
they're going to give it to Baynard. Like, oh yeah, we told him we're going to give him whatever he wants.
Yes.
The briefcase actually has a bomb in it. So yes, maybe he would open it at the stadium. Maybe it's like a wait till you get home or something like that.
And once Baynard is dead, we are all going to be a bunch of draft kings.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. 15 people will have died at my sporting events in a matter of 7 days. It's fantastic.
And we will truly live as draft kings.
Look, half the Budweisers are poisoned. Good luck.
And all the fans are going to fight over it. And I'm going to say, well, gosh, what a good looking fan duel. Fucking fan duel.
All that shit is garbage.
Terrible.
But it's good for you if you want to play.
Yes.
This week's episode is brought to you by FanDuel.
No, it's not yet. We'll see if the check clears.
But it's sort of amazing. Also, you think about what would the idea of going to a football game after this happened 5, 6, 7 days ago.
Nope.
It's crazy town.
No, hey, Los Angeles, guess what, man? The Kings are right there.
Well,
you're getting a whole influx of hockey fans after this.
Well, nobody got hurt, and it was kind of a show. I mean, if somebody else is going to blow their head off,
That's fair.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
There would just have to be like a national week of mourning. You know what I mean?
Sure.
The president is showing up. Well, Barley, these football games are too gosh darn dangerous.
First, it was the leading with your head while you tackle. Now it's bringing a gun onto the field. Kind of ridiculous. Getting even worse.
Now, if they had a gun, they were in Libya, I'd be more into it, Bar.
Now I'm picturing a Will Smith movie where he's complaining about, tell the truth over these players shooting themselves.
Yeah, he's got all these X-rays of like bullets going
Going
through
into
brains, and he's
skulls,
like, yeah, it's bad because like later on in life they'll be dead, you see, and it could lead to them decaying. And
Yeah, they only live like 6 seconds after the game.
He's getting laughed and booed out of the room while he's like, no, bullets cause people to die.
right.
Ridiculous.
Tell the truth.
Also, I just recognized in my notes another thing. I was reminded that Chelcie Ross, Senator Baynard, is the star, or not the star of, but he's in for a hot fashion. He is the evil colonel from the military school
Yes,
in
he
Bogus
is.
Journey.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, hello, Colonel Oates.
Dude rules. Danielle Harris sidles up to Damon Wayans' car here. And
Oh,
it's like,
right.
I want to be in the movie. The studio just said that I was a fun character in that scene. They need me in the last act.
I believe she is. It's not a full one here, Steve, but she, I think, is a stowaway. in
She's
this.
kind of. You're
It's
right.
a
She is sort of.
stowaway.
Yeah.
For the services of kidnap bait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And then, like, what? Damon Wayans follows the leads, and they get to the fucking
The woods.
The woods where the photo evidence is happening of Milo handing this briefcase to Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
We get
they're
our
framing him. Yeah.
Third or fourth parlor scene explaining it just in case somebody was out getting popcorn.
And it's really intricate. You didn't really need to do it, but I guess I kind of appreciate the fact that this
Bond gadget.
Yes,
that
it's like a lazy Susan, but for
Yes,
suitcases
yes.
in the back of this trunk. So this dude that works for the senator, who I guess is a Polish gangster, are we?
Question mark.
He's
with-
Polish?
There's
He looks
delete-
like Pitbull, actually.
He
There-
does.
I feel like there are deleted scenes because when we're driving on the highway soon enough, there's like he's too stupid. Damon Wayans too stupid to spell bomb correctly.
Oh,
He
yes.
spells BOM.
yeah.
And
right.
and it's like, oh, that means fuck you in Polish. So now this guy's going to go crazy.
I forgot about that. So, like,
Yeah.
he must totally.
There has
he
to
must
be something
Polish.
missing.
I don't think he's Polish. I think that's just a bad line.
Or is that just supposed to be a bad joke?
That's just a bad joke. I
like
think.
a Polish people are stupid joke.
Or I literally just could be a bad. I don't even know.
wackadoo, like, yeah.
That's how bad it is. I don't even know what the point of it was.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, all right. So it
Okay,
makes
great.
no fucking sense.
Yeah.
That's
The guy-
I'm glad we cleared that up.
The guy who the other bad
Pitbull?
guy, the Pitbull guy, is the guy who kills the first person to kill somebody in Hard Target when they're shooting somebody. He's like
Oh, really?
the first the client for Lance
Wow.
Henriksen.
Oh, I
So
like that.
The money is not in that briefcase. The bomb is in that briefcase. So
That
this
sounded like you doing a Christopher Walken impression. The bomb is in the briefcase.
Where are you
Took
gonna
that briefcase and stuck it up his ass.
Oh man, get some lube.
Where are you gonna set off that bomb? Somewhere exotic?
No, just the LA Coliseum.
Okay.
And they're about to kill Bruce Willis, and this is when Danielle Harris shows up with her stuffed animal, like, "Oh, I'm lost or something, and I don't even know what she's."
Let's see what she's got to say.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's kind of clever for the little girl, but then like to fool grown adults.
Yes.
Like and also like Taylor Negron and all his dudes are like, surveilling Willis and everything. Like they would know what the kid looks like.
Well, let me hand you this. Hey, mister, why don't you see if you can get this thing to talk?
You try.
Yeah,
you try.
there's clearly a gun in this doll. Here you go.
But this is the same as Steve said, the Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
We're gonna laugh to death because he is doing fucking voices with things and like fucking roasting all these hitmen with this puppet.
He's going after the audience.
He's
like, you didn't get enough pussy to me.
The jokes are just like, man, where'd you get your suit? Gangsters are us.
Oh
yeah.
Oh boy.
That's
And then he just starts. There's a gun inside the puppet. It's kind of cool watching a puppet mouth explode with a bullet.
Listen, my track record, my fucking extreme creepitude with puppets, man. Anytime a puppet's decimated on the screen, I'm there for it. And this thing's fucking mouth shoots out from inside of itself. Awesome.
Some fat guy gets it right in the kisser, and then he's blowing like there are 17 guns pointed at them, and Bruce Willis somehow knocks out all of them.
That's right.
Like you see, Damon Wayans like kicks one guy in the stomach or something. Yeah,
it's it's pretty convenient, but they're the protagonists, so they can get through this pretty okay.
Danielle Harris casts a spell and everybody goes to sleep.
Yeah,
It's weird that her dad is Bruce Willis and her uncle is Michael Myers. So it's like you do not want to fuck with this little girl. Like, you're in trouble.
Bruce Willis has probably got a higher body count.
Yeah, I was gonna say two of the world's greatest serial killers.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Mike, you're a big fucking pussy, dude. Oh man, you only use a knife when a fucking pussy. You ever try a gun?
Always the talkative one.
Also driving a car, Michael Myers.
That's
dude. Michael Myers loves driving cars.
all right, Darian. Evil dies tonight. Okay. All right.
Do you have to have
damn.
that little score going every time you walk into a room?
There is a girl who's the daughter of a private detective sheriff.
Sheriff, she's got a gun in that puppet.
There is a puppet coming to your town.
Oh, I'm just here visiting.
Her father keeps on calling her a hooker for some reason.
Oh no, they made it to the football game. No.
Oh, we get our high-speed chase here. I think
baby.
Milo is also in pursuit here.
Yes. The non-Polish boss is somewhere around here.
This is where the other car is. Gandolfini goes flying.
Yes,
off.
there's some cool cliff falls
some
here.
like 1970s kind of like Toons is the cat kind of.
We're throwing an old sedan down a hill.
Yeah,
and then
I
into
love
a
it.
pool as well.
It's very similar to the fucking Nice Guy, like when the opening with the going down the hill.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fuck yeah, you're right.
I gotta watch that again.
It's a great movie.
You're right that this is Rick Ducommun as the guy who's
Hell
just
yeah.
having breakfast like out on his patio.
He's good.
And Taylor Negron's car crashes into the pool, and he's the fucking like dead face reaction of just like, I can't believe I'm looking at what I'm looking at. Totally great.
The best reaction is, like, let me get your car. No, he's like, give me the car. I shoot the girl. Daddy. Oh, well, she's gonna be drugs and all the rest of stuff. So yeah, you go ahead and take the car.
Yeah,
her life's ruined now.
He threatens to murder his own child to get inside this car, which is
Fantastic.
Honestly, pretty funny part for me. Yeah, and then he's just like, oh, he's definitely dead. Let me just shoot the car a few more times. Grab the suitcase of actual money. And then that's that.
Let me leave my daughter. Oh no, we have to run to the Coliseum. Let me leave my daughter with this berobed pervert.
Can we point out that the mother is still alive?
Yes,
Yeah.
She exists. Yes.
Call her. Be like, yo, Sarah, you have to come here, pick her up right now.
And it'd be that. Just do that, and you could still have all the events unfold because of the LA traffic or whatever.
Yeah, I'm leaving her here with this like pervert pool guy. He looks like one of the neighbors from the Burbs. You'll recognize him immediately.
Look, just why don't you? I don't want to take care of your kid. Why don't you call your wife? Where does she work? I don't know. It's your wife. Yeah, I don't know.
I think
she's wifing
she works on her back on my mattress, and I'm paying for it.
Is there another McGill in the picture? She's probably fucking him.
Yeah, go working her way up the family fucking tree.
Well, it's a good thing fucking John Belushi's dead, or else you fuck him. Probably gonna fuck Mark Metcalf next. The whole fucking cast
That piece of
of the Animal House.
Is that piece of shit Scott Bakula out here? She said she had a crush on him.
Fucking Tim Matheson, he was next. Flounder, whatever that guy's name was, Steven something.
Oh, enjoy fucking Peter Riegert.
You fuck Niedermeyer.
Oh man, you fuck Niedermeyer. That's desperate.
Put a pledge pin up you. Anyway.
A pledge pin in your penis.
Oh man, like a piercing. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like Prince Albert. Anyone in the room got a genital piercing?
Not currently.
No.
I have
okay.
0 piercings on my body.
Yeah.
Never say never, but
Same,
Thought
same
about
for
it,
now.
but you know.
I
I'm
don't
thinking about getting some
know.
Hellraiser shit going on, maybe.
I just don't think I could have a needle go through my penis.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'd probably not do it either.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yeah.
The movie's continuing.
yes. Taylor Negron kills Rick DeCommon and kidnaps Danielle Harris,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Another solid headshot, by the way.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
gotta
Oh,
get
yeah.
that in there.
Beautiful squib.
They get to
Your
the
uncle isn't
Coliseum.
around here, is he? Your uncle, Michael Myers. We're doing. Wait, no, it's September. We're good. We're good for a month and a half.
I mean, clock's ticking, but we're good.
He's probably skulking around here, but he isn't doing his main thing.
Yeah, they every Halloween they transport him back and forth to nowhere, and something always goes wrong.
So they get to the Coliseum. There is a funny thing of Damon Wayans keying Marcone's car,
Yes.
which is pretty great.
And then something. That big fat guy, Tony Longo.
Oh, dude, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's just we're trying to justify that horrible scene, like
Yeah,
by getting that guy more beat up. You know what I mean? Because I mean that scene was pretty fucking bad, and it was out of nowhere, and it had nothing to do with this movie. So like bringing it back, I guess, makes it thematic.
Sure, except for like the team is going down the hallway to take the field. And Tony Longo is like, oh, there's the guy that fucking beat me up. And then there's like
Cops.
3 cops.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what is stadium security going to do about this dude who they clearly know because he used to be your star
Yeah.
quarterback
Yes.
threw a football at your face? You fucking baby, Tony
Yeah.
Longo, shut up.
Well, that, again, he would have been fine, except for then Jimmy Dix takes a gun out and get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
you
It's
fat fuck.
it is a fucking great line though, because Tony Longo says something like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you fucking thrown out of here, kicked out of here." That's what
Yeah.
it is. And Wayans pulls out the shotgun and puts it under his chin, and he goes, "How'd you like to get kicked off the planet?"
Yeah,
It's a good
It's
line.
a good line.
Very
It's
good.
But
pretty
yeah,
good.
because here now, because we're on his old home turf, we have to give him more to do and more hero moments like the football pass coming up.
Oh yeah, he gets this whole act like because it's him on the field trying to get Baynard's attention.
well,
Right.
this is you're skipping the whole
Oh, the evil,
enormous.
the 7th parlor.
Yeah,
scene.
this is another, and this I got to tell you, I know he is supposed to be kind of like a Jerry Jones-esque, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck, but like this office is a set design straight out of Nightmare
Hell,
Alley.
Yeah, it's hell.
It looks like Kate Blanchett's office, man. This huge, like high ceiling marble
Yeah.
wall.
It's like the cigar room in Al Pacino's Devil Advocate
Yes.
office.
Exactly.
Yep,
You expect the statues start moving and fucking.
Yeah.
And whatever. And like, yeah, it's another parlor scene about this, that, and the other thing. And that I'm gonna kill all of you. He shoots Damon Wayans in the hand, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And of course, you have to do the light. Like I'm kind of like the daughter is there, and he's like, I kind of am like gonna touch your daughter, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe I'm gonna
She's
do
got
that.
a purdy head of hair
Yeah.
there.
They need another 15% rapiness in here.
well,
Taylor
did-
Negron says,
Yes.
when he threatens Bruce Willis on a car phone, is like, "I've got your daughter, and I'll show her what a hot date I am." And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
I
right.
know it's a fucking child. Everybody, can we move on?
Yeah, totally.
Is it
totally. Danielle Harris does have the line of this scene though, because he's running his mouth or whatever, and she goes, "Eat shit, you fucking redneck."
Yes. Well. You're really tough on September 15th when everybody knows Halloween ain't for 6 more weeks. Uncle Mike ain't coming to save shit, little girl. I've partnered with Noble Willingham to put an end to Michael Myers.
No, Bull. No, Bull.
First of all, let's go Stallions.
Oh no, that quarterback isn't the real quarterback. That's Michael.
I bought season tickets to the Stallions.
It came with this giant hand that goes, we're number one. It's foam. We are not number one, Sheriff. Not if Michael Myers comes here.
Okay, straight talk. Do you think ever in his lifetime Donald Pleasance donned a foam finger?
No, and I would say he probably never attended a football game in person.
Yeah. Probably not a big fan of American football.
No,
No.
Not a fan of America in general.
Even though he was the president.
I only watch
forget.
kangaroo football.
But like they set it up for 5 seconds. Bruce Willis is like, oh, I've got these thing called shredders. They explode really crazy. And something, I have the key to where the tape is. The mafia is invoked for 4 seconds. It doesn't matter.
But the mafia point is actually kind of interesting
yeah.
because Noble Willingham is like, oh, well, what are you going to do, Bruce? Well, here's the part where you tell me the second you die, that tape's going to the media, blah, blah, blah. And Bruce Willis is like, no, it's actually going to the mafia because if everything you said is true about legalizing sports gambling, the mafia stands to lose $2 billion and they're not going to be too happy about
This
that.
is a great point because DraftKings and FanDuel have only secured this win because the mafia is at such a low point.
Yeah,
now.
it's true.
They're getting
Sucks,
shot
man.
by the Q people.
I know.
This is
Ugh.
fucking horseshit. You need to turn it around,
Listen,
folks.
Mafia, we're pro mafia podcast. People have known that for a long time. We are very endeared to the mafia.
But you make it
Exactly.
difficult.
But they need to now. You guys need to send a message. You need to take out some high-level executives
No.
at certain corporations.
As far
No,
as
no.
far as I
Man.
know, Ron Watkins is still breathing. No business of mine what happens after that.
Here's what I would say. You don't buy books on Amazon. Go to your local bookstore. Don't place bets on FanDuel. Go to your local bookie. Give some money back to the
Exactly.
mafia.
That's
right.
Keep it within the community,
Yes,
folks.
enrich your community. You need to do that, or else it's just going to be a
And if-
dystopian hellscape.
And yeah, which we got to avoid that.
Yeah.
There's so many
These
other
are
things
the
around.
legitimate businessmen
Go to-
protecting the interest of your community, and you're stabbing them in the back.
Absolutely. And all your elders, all the elders of this great tradition are going to be shot by fucking teenagers who think that fucking, Chris Tucker has like baby heads that he carries around in a purse. Like he's cute
What?
people off their heads.
Well, because
Super
like
green.
Chris Cabin, official We Hate Movies Q correspondent.
There's lots of
I
ideas.
thought you heard some new fucking
No,
stupid
no.
thing that involved Chris Tucker.
Just a variation on a theme.
But I think my train of thought's totally gone, so we're just gonna move right along.
Well, you get these shredder things, right?
Yes, they blow up the
we,
whole thing.
We get a guy on fire, which
Yes.
is very cool. Very cool.
Well, Totally.
The guy goes on fire, and then like everybody runs away, and you it's a blink and you miss. I had to rewind it. What's his face? Noble Willingham runs away, but they cut back like as the scene ender on this burning body. I was like, was that Nolan Will? You know what I mean? Like, I was
Oh,
just sort of
really?
like, did he
Oh.
get cooked?
Well,
No.
Well, because they really, this guy on fire is both on fire, then he gets shot in the chest, and then he gets shot in the ankles. So I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that guy that should be Noble's fucking death.
Yes.
he gets super fucking
He
killed.
runs away instead. He gets the suitcase, which he thinks is the money, but it's
Yes.
actually the bomb. We save it for the end. Until then, we have to find the senator now.
That
Yes.
part was dumb too, with Noble Willingham getting the briefcase because like he's in the parking lot
Yes.
of the Coliseum and he's like, huh, look at that. There's the briefcase. And he shoots the window to get it. And immediately they cut to him like, reaching in or whatever. And you can see behind him, there's people just casually walking.
Well, you're at the LA Coliseum. The Stallions are playing. Gunfire is just expected.
Oh, yeah.
at
Oh,
this
that's
point.
right. I forgot with the new rule change for this season.
Exactly.
Oh, what? That's Shelley Marcone. Don't you want? Do you want the Stallions to win this season? Don't you? Leave them alone.
Now you are allowed to shoot a man. If he's in the red zone, you're allowed to shoot a man.
Yeah, so Shoot a Man is where we are now because like they're like, oh, Milo's going to try to kill the senator now.
Right. Yeah.
And he's probably going to be somewhere high up. Oh, maybe those lights up there.
Well,
So now
no,
Jimmy
no
has to-
Willingham even does a James Bond thing like, or let's just say Mr. Milo is a place very illuminated. And
Oh, does he?
Yes,
does.
yes. It's so dumb.
Damn, I missed
It's
that.
dumb. It's dumb.
And then, yes, he sees him up there and he's like, hey, Jimmy, you need to cause a distraction while I take care of Milo.
So he rides a horse while holding a football.
Yeah.
And then throws the football at the bullet, and it works.
Well,
It stops the bullet.
no, I think he's throwing it at the senator's face to get his
Attention.
to get him
Attention,
shot.
But then the bullet hits the football.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's also true. Yes.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
One in a million shot, Doc.
Oh my
He's
God.
the best fucking arm in the fucking league.
Shit,
Dude.
look
Yeah.
at that. And it's kind of funny how they set up both of those things because the Tony Longo getting his face spiked in the hot tub, that's,
Yes.
Damon Wayans still has a fucking arm on him. And then there's some other line way at the beginning of this courtship where Damon Wayans mentions to Bruce Willis that he and his lady friend or whatever, like they go horseback riding all the time.
Oh.
And they set up that Damon
Everything.
Wayans is
Yeah.
really into horseback riding, so that, and this is all Wayans right here. You see him jump onto the horse like from the back of it, like does the whole thing. Pretty impressive.
Robert McKee fucking rule book foreshadowed the shit out of everything.
And the worst part of it is, I think it's when they're in the car or driving to the stadium. Bruce Willis just casually is just like, when this case is over, I'm doing a jig. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I know it's coming. And I'm like, don't do a fucking jig.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's just like one thing too
Yeah.
many, one cool, snappy,
And-
irreverent,
and
whatever.
Is that
too
like? Is that supposed to be a football thing? Like an
No,
end
no,
zone
it's an Irish
jig?
jig.
Irish jig.
So it has nothing to do.
many. It's got nothing to do with
anything.
anything.
no,
He just
no.
says it to say it. Cool fight with him and Taylor Negron.
Pretty great. Yeah, I like Taylor Negron. He's got this huge machine gun. He's fucking shooting at like the goddamn helicopter, blasting
Yes.
suckers out of that. Pretty cool. He does fall to his death. It is a great
Oh,
It's amazing.
stunt man falling
Oh.
death too.
Well, no,
And
first of all,
into-
the SWAT team shoots him like to
A
pieces
million
first,
times.
Yeah.
and then he falls into the rotator blades, and he gets turned into tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
it's so good.
Totally awesome.
I'll be honest, I like the jig. I
You're
was
into
like
the jig?
for once I was like, oh, he's joyful for once in this fucking movie.
Yeah,
I'll, I'll take it.
It's as joyful as it gets, which is to say not too much. He's
Yep.
kinda
just
like
shambling along. Like,
shuffling.
The jig is up here. Yeah.
The jig is up. The fucking football stadium goes ape shit, like
Yay!
clapping for him.
Human blood and viscera.
Dude, and this is just a fucking few days after the shit. Like, the people have to be in
This-
the
you
stands.
know
Like,
what?
is this football now?
This takes place in the Running Man future.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
hope so.
Or you have to like underline it, like, oh man, isn't America bloodthirsty? Like you have to do that if you're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, because
Because football is a violent game, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, oh wow, they don't even
Sure.
care that they're shooting each other now. They love that.
Yes.
Like,
And then
somebody's
coming
like,
up-
the ratings are up after that fucking shooting. Like that's something.
but this is
And that paves the way for Death Race 2000. That's right. And Frankenstein is making a ride across the United States,
But
racking up points.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if this was an actual satire, then sure, all your fucking commentary about football,
Yes.
Yeah.
fine. But like, nah, this isn't
no,
a satire. You're not criticizing fucking anything. This is an action movie where part of it takes place at a football stadium.
Exactly.
So yeah, Negron's dead. We do the jig, whatever. This is just more of the fucking making up with the wife, and,
And
this
then
is the I'm gonna
sequel
spit in your
setup.
mouth.
And
Whatever that line was.
the cop is like, "Where's the suitcase with the bomb?" And he opens it. He's like, "There's just money in here." And then Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis are chuckling to each other because they know what's going to happen. And right near the LA Observatory is where this mansion is.
Yeah.
And he just opens the suitcase and goes, "Pap smear."
Yeah,
Yeah, we see this little explosion off in the distance. And again, everyone's like, yeah, LA's blowing up. Hell yeah.
Totally thrilled. Also, his two like Doberman pinchers are there, and it's weird because the movie had already teased a dog death because
Yeah.
there's a neighbor dog
Uh-huh.
that you see Bruce Willis like, get your ball and get the fuck out of here. And like he
Yes.
throws it. And then that's when Bruce McGill blows up and you see the flaming tennis ball. And I was like,
Right.
ah, man. But then like later on in the movie, when they're leaving the house again, you see the dog totally alive. And I was like,
Right.
got it.
The-
But I guess this is because it's the villain's dog. Because they're like, whatever, light these two pups up.
That dog is about to lick up the blood from the dead cop.
Oh, he's
That's in that one
starving.
scene. He was about to do it.
That big beefy cop like that's
Oh,
a
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a
Oh,
3-course meal.
Beautiful blood
I-
right there.
Then you'd think we'd have more time with the wife and kids or something. But
No.
no, it's
Just to
just
set up the sequel. That's all
yes,
you're
it's
doing.
a sequel setup, and they're talking about like, oh yeah, if you hit someone, it's the 90s now. You got to say something cool first.
Yeah.
Which is
you have to have like a Shane Black line.
motherfucker, maybe.
Yeah.
Or a Shane Black line of some kind. Sure.
But much like the end of the Nice Guys, much like the end of even Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, he's like, hey, do you want to be my partner? We're going to be private detectives together.
That's right. Well, because he got shot in that fucking hand, man. The football career is definitely over.
Yeah,
so it looks like I owe you $250. That's half the case money.
Yeah, right.
Well, are you ready to die in poverty?
Yeah, totally.
Do you have any interest in fucking my wife?
Good.
I get close to people by them fucking my wife.
By the way, Halloween's in a couple of weeks. You want to steer clear of this house. Her uncle comes over. He's a fucking nutcase.
It's fucked up. We've had fights about it.
It's my wife's brother.
I do not want that fucking freak sleeping on my couch, Sarah.
Dude, I wake up, middle of the night, Sarah, get a glass of water. He's just fucking standing in the kitchen in the dark. He's not saying anything. He's not doing nothing. He's just standing there.
Another teenager stabbed through our door and stayed there. I have to clean up these bodies every morning.
The people at Home Depot keep asking me why I keep buying the same fucking kitchen cabinet door, and I can't tell them why. Oh, but whatever, man. That is the end of The Last Boy Scout. They walk into the sunset, and nary a sequel was ever made because they fucking hated each other. Yes, the Pat Boone kicks back in, of course. And then blissfully at the end of the credits, after the Pat Boone is done, you do get the Friday Night Football song again.
Such a good song.
Oh, fuck
It
yeah.
is a good song. I mean, he's a good songwriter. I mean, this is him doing like trash, but he's a talented musician.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, that is the end of the movie, man. Let's go around the horn here. Final thoughts and recommendations. Steve Sadak.
Yeah, it's a recommend. It's a wild action movie of the early 90s. It's very of its time. It's super misogynistic and mean, and if that turns you off, I totally get it. But if you just want to watch some squibs and people blow up, you could have a worse time.
That's right, Christopher Cabin.
Oh, enthusiastic recommend. I really have always liked this movie, and like, yeah, the language is something fucking else, and it is definitely of the time. But I don't get many movies like this that are this nasty. And like Tony Scott is one of maybe 3 directors who figured out how to make the surveillance footage / music video aesthetic work in some way to turn into some kind of style. Like, what's the guy who directed Belly is another one who did it. But like, so I really enjoyed this, and I think it looks good. I think the movie itself looks great.
Eric Siska.
Yeah, it's a light recommend for me just because I think there's better Tony Scott movies, there's better Shane Black movies, there's better Bruce Willis movies, there's better Damon Wayans movies. That all said, it does have the action. It does. You definitely could watch. You could watch better, but you could watch worse. So I would say you got a couple tall glasses of water. Check it out.
I have to assume you're talking about Major Payne when you say there's
Of course.
a better, okay, or maybe Blank Man. I don't know.
Both are total state tunes.
I actually remember both of those fondly, Chris,
Very well,
but I don't.
I'm gonna get you Sucker. Really funny movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh sure, totally.
Great movie.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Hype Williams is who directed Belly.
Yes.
It's stronger than a light recommend for me. I did have a good time with it, but yeah, just kind of what Steve was getting at. It is an early 90s minefield of some shit. So yeah, if you have beef with that, totally get it and whatever. But yeah, stupid squibs, Bruce Willis being lazy and hungover, and a good performance from Damon Wayans, I think, too.
Yeah.
So we will leave it at that. If you want more We Hate Movies, of course, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies. Out now is our We Love Movies listener requested episode on Walter Hill's The Warriors. We have a Bosk Gleep Glossary coming out pretty soon. We have a regular old episode of Melrose 210 that is out in where we finally get to the season 1 finale of Melrose Place, which was a big
spicy episode.
Spicy as
Been
fuck,
a long
dude.
time.
Yeah, if you like us talking about dicks and stuff, you really want to get on that Walsh tier of Patreon. We tons of dick talk on Melrose.
Absolutely. We're gonna have the Double Dragon AD.
Yeah,
coming
Fuck
up.
yeah.
And the Harry Potter commentary will be out this month.
That's
coming
right.
soon. That's right.
We shit on J.K. Rowling for
Quite
a
a
while.
lot.
Yeah.
Oh, so there you go. If you got a problem with that, hey, that's your problem. And as always, here on the main feed, the show continues. We have one final listener requested episode coming next week. Steve, what are we talking about?
We have to get a friend in here for this. We got to get Justin J. Case back on the show. It's been far too long.
Yes.
Talk about The Last Castle, starring James Gandolfini.
Whoa, back to back.
Right.
And two last
Two
titles.
lasts back to back.
Two
Yeah.
last.
And two Gandolfinis back to back.
Last to last. So until next week, with Justin J. Case's triumphant return to We Hate Movies, talking about The Last Castle, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Sisko.
Chris Gavin.
Take it easy.
That was a HeadGum podcast.